All right. What is good, everyone? What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Today we got a great show for you guys, man. I'm excited to talk more about various different video games. We got a lot of different games and other stuff to talk about, man. So I'm excited to discuss that and more. So we will be talking about that today. So if you have not hit that like button, let them know. I kind of did like a short review, like a short put up of the whatever to the actual stream. So you guys that are here already, make sure you hit that like button, keep it going, keep the hype going, keep the vibes going as we get going, because like I said, it's gonna be a long stream. I got a feeling it's gonna be a long stream today, so it's gonna be a very interesting stream today too, though. So yeah, let's get into the shout outs though, since we got people here early. If you're in the chat, even if you're a Mick Lurker, that's okay. Come out to the say what up, at this point. So all right guys, let's go. Let's see, let's start out here. Dior, what's up, Dior? Welcome to the stream. Party man. What's up, party man? Adam Carson says, what's up, everyone? Wish it was October 30th already. I'm ready for my Dragon Quest game, man. I'm ready for my Pokemon game. This is like, I think, the longest stint in between major Pokemon games in like a long time. It's been like 3 years since the last major Pokemon game. So mainline Pokemon game with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So it's been a while. So I'm ready for this new one. Let's see here. Adam Carson, welcome. General Zamora, what's good? Welcome to the stream. Mada, what up, Mada? 777 LG double OG. Epic Lobster is here. What up, Epic? My man, Party Man, what's good? Life will change. General C. Sidious. Mike Wells. Alvin C. Good afternoon, sir. Matt W. in the house. Brand Smith. What up, Brand? Marcel Way. What's up, Marcel? Ready for next Thursday, man? I am ready for me, it'll be Wednesday because I got the midnight launch, but I'm in the West Coast, so midnight means 9 o'clock my time. So I'll be ready to go. How will Release the Legends ZA affect the release of Pikmin 5? Yeah, I know, exactly. Nintendo fans, man. The Nintendo fans will always find some way to say one thing affects another. Oh, man. Yeah, it's great stuff, though. Great stuff. Shout outs, though. Shout outs to Alvin. Welcome to the stream. Dan Lee, what up, Dan? Make sure you guys keep hitting that like button. I'm going to be asking you guys to hit that like button if you have not throughout the whole night. So let's go. Casual Noob, put a Patreon thing up for you and change my name there. Casual Noob, legal name matchup, started confusion. Hey, no problem, Casual Noob. Justin with the 3.
I don't think I'm going to beat Trails before Pokemon.
No.
Lol, also I found 4 shiny Dratini yesterday.
Ooh.
I got next Wednesday off, I'm so ready.
Nice. Shout outs to Justin too. Me and Justin, we linked up yesterday. I got my Corydon. I got my shiny Growlithe, and I was so happy. My wife was like, what are you smiling for? I'm like, my friend gave me Pokemon. And she was like looking at me like this was like 1998 or something like that. Oh man, it was great, dude. I feel like a big little kid at times. But shout out. Yeah, I literally felt like me and the homies trading at the schoolyard back in the day, but it was online. Shout outs though, Justin. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for the $3 dono. I appreciate that. First dono of the stream, striking that first Ninja Blood. I gotta have an animation for first Ninja Blood. I'll work on that in my next day off. So shout outs to Justin. 3. We got full combo rewards and effects today, guys. I want to have a 3-hour stream. Let's see if we can get that. First extension is up at 15 combos. Let's go. Justin already strike that first blood. Thank you, man. I appreciate that big 3. There you go. And Justin, if you want a music track, let me know. Remember, if you drop a dono, make sure you put your music track in there. If you can't fit it, just let me know in the chat and I got you. Big fan of you and the Spawn Army. Hey, thank you, Devon's Art. Appreciate you, fam. What's up, Squirrella? Welcome. And thank you for the 5 Patreon, Casual Noob. I appreciate that, for real. Thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, the cool guy? Welcome to the stream. Shout outs. ZA is gonna be big, seeing so much hype online. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, I'm seeing now. This just might be this is actually algorithm based because it's not based off of Like, I'm seeing a lot of people say, just got my Switch 2, like, and I saw Gabe, who was a fixture at the Nintendo launches for, like, Wii U and Switch, and now Switch 2, he used to be hanging out with Etika over there in New York. On Twitter, he was like, man, like, isn't me, like, a lot of people are actually showing their pictures, like, I got a Switch 2, you know, on Twitter, which, once again, it's algorithm-based. If you're not into Switch 2 stuff, you're probably not going to see it, or if you're not looking out, if you're not on there a lot, but I've been seeing a lot of that as well. You know, people saying, it's my first time buying a, you know, a Nintendo system in a while, or, you know, I bought the Switch, but I didn't really play it, now I'm getting into Switch 2, or whatever the case is. So I'm seeing a lot of that as well, man, which is pretty cool, dude. Like, it's dope to see people get new systems, enjoy new games, and all that type of stuff. So I like it, you know, I like it. But yeah, a lot of hype for Pokemon Legends ZA. First big Pokemon game on the Switch 2, you know, new Pokemon game. I think that's gonna bring a lot of new people into the fold. So yeah. Gonna bring a lot of new people into the fold. Pokemon Legends Arceus music, only game you can think about. All right, I got you. Pokemon Legends. We always play the Jubilife track, so let's play something a little bit. Let's play something a little bit different. Let's play Stark Mountain. Shout outs, Justin. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. So many people taking photos with Switch 2 feels like June again. Yeah, man, it does. It does. But I think that, like, the big thing here, and I think that this is probably a video that I'll do, maybe tomorrow, I'll probably do it, like, along with some Switch 2 news. But, like, the thing about it is that it's going to be, like, a slower / interesting adoption rate. Because, like, I don't think Nintendo's going to sell more than 150 million Nintendo Switch 2 systems. Like, to match the Switch 1, that's going to be tough to do. Like, I mean, they can do it. I mean, it's possible, right? But that's going to be hard. Like, that's pretty much the peak or the top that you can get to. And the reason why I say that is because the previous best 2 selling systems ahead of the Switch 1 were the freaking Nintendo DS, which was 20 years ago, and the PS2, which was 25 years ago. So it's not like we've had multiple launches since then, right? That was, what was that? That was 6th gen for the PS2. So we're all the way in 9th going on 10th gen or something, right? So that was multiple gens ago, and no other system has even gotten close, like within, let's just say 10 million, right? There's been no other system. Switch 1 is the only system that's ever gotten even close. So it's hard to even sell that much in the first place. So, but there is a lot of people that Nintendo can sell the Switch 2 to. You can sell it to that same 150 million install base or 100 million install base, and hopefully, you know, 90 to like 120, 130 million people buy it, you know? Let's hear Justin with another $1 says it helps that people are mad at Xbox right now, so they're finally leaving Nintendo alone for a little bit. I mean, they are and they aren't. You know, they are and they aren't. But yes, you're right. I mean, there is a lot of that. But once again, I don't mind constructive criticism. Like, I don't mind criticism at all. People that are criticizing, that's fine. I have no issue with that. My problem is the line and grifting for YouTube views and revenue. My problem is the line. I don't have a problem with criticism that's constructive or criticism that's real. Like, oh man, I don't like the fact that, you know, I don't know, like maybe Pokemon's graphics could be better. Okay, that's legit. Or I don't like the fact that Scarlet and Violet had bad, you know, frame rate. That's fair. Or I don't like the fact that, you know, they're charging 80 for Mario Kart. Okay, that's 70 now. I mean, you jump the price up by, you know, 20 bucks from what you had before, right? Like, that's fair. But like, just this random sales, not like this, you know, Nintendo random sales nonsense, making up stuff, talk about people buyer's remorse, like making complete hit piece after hit piece while completely negatively and twisting the narrative and twisting sales numbers, all while avoiding and not talking to anybody else in the field when you're new. You never talked about sales numbers and all this beforehand. Like, what's going on here? Why do you refuse to talk to Nintendo Prime or anything? Like, that's the type of stuff that I'm like, okay, that's BS. Like, I'll call that out every single day, you know? Shout outs to Matt. Thank you for the gifted membership. Yo, let's go. Got a gift in the house to Emmanuel. Yo, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate the gifted membership. Let's go. Let's get some combos on the board for that as well. Up to 6 on the combo board. Let's go. And Justin extending his Hokage lead to $4. Thank you so much. Anybody that does 4 more, you can beat up my man Justin. And thank you, Matt, for the gift. Let's go ahead and let's get that on the board as well. Matt, anybody does 1 gift or more, you can type Matt on the gift ninja, or ninja gift more like it. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gift of Emmanuel. Lucky person that got the gift. I've always liked that name, Emmanuel. I've always liked it. Shout outs, dude. Amazing how PS2 GameCube generation worked out game software updates. game software updates. What does that mean? Yo, what's up? V says 94 months. Oh yeah, I have Legends Z8 already preloaded on my Switch 2. Can't wait. Yo, let's go, V. Heck yeah, I'm excited too. I got it pre-ordered at GameStop, so. Let's see, Switch 2, the racist threat I got today for simply saying how I love my Switch 2 is unreal. The racist threat? I mean, yeah, expect that. You'll get those even if you don't like Switch 2. What's up, Donnie? Says he got Nintendo in his name and he's talking crazy like that. It's a grift, Donnie, because you can make a lot of money doing that. But I wonder how long. I made a post on his what's it called? On his this big old long damage controlling thing that he did for the what's it called, for the MPD, because we all knew that the MPD or the Circana sales were going to come out and they were going to be good. So he put up this big old long prediction damage controlling post on his community page that I saw. Nintendo Prime linked it on Twitter, so I was curious. I don't watch his videos, but I was curious, so I looked at it. Bro, it's like a whole little thesis sitting there making up stuff, trying to twist numbers. And I'm like, this guy, there's something wrong with this guy. There's something mentally, like Nintendo, you think Nintendo like, you know, stole his girlfriend or, you know, took his boyfriend. I don't know what he's into, but like took his boyfriend or girlfriend or like, you know what I'm saying? Like pushed him into the mud or something. Like this guy is a manipulative, manipulative psycho. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because the amount of manipulation to try to damage control the sales numbers of a video game system is it's the same things that people were doing with the Switch 1, and it's just insane. But he's trying to put a lot of numbers in there to confuse his really crazy, I would say, simplistic fan base. So it's interesting to see that for sure. Interesting to see that. But I put up a post on there. I put up a comment just saying, I wonder how much longer you're going to be able to keep this up. Because, like, eventually, you're not going to be able to keep this up, right? I mean, we have the PS5 that's at, you know, 80 million. It's behind the PS4 in terms of sales pacing. But that'll change with Ghost of Yotei. And that will change with GTA 6 coming out, you know. And then the Xbox is pretty much bust at this point, right? I mean, when it comes to sales, the Xbox is pretty much bust at this point. So, like, what are we comparing it to? Like, there's not many systems left to even, like, can't compare it to Steam Deck, can't compare it to those systems. Switch 2's already blown those systems out of the water. So all we have is sit there and compare it to Switch 1. Well, it's ahead of Switch 1 right now. I mean, in terms of sales pace, which they had way more stock, so that's obviously going to happen. I think it'll level out, potentially even go below it, depending. But it's just interesting, man. It's funny. It's like we're running out of things to comparing it to. We're running out of things to like I said, damage control with some of these people. So I wonder how long they're going to be able to. I honestly, and I'm not saying that just to I wonder how long they're going to be able to keep this up. I really do, because it's crazy. It's kind of funny because like I said, we got the sales numbers. We got the sales numbers, which we're going to talk about. I talked about that today in the you know, the big sales update with the big news. The major news that dropped recently was that, yeah, Switch 2 sold another, you know, sold 2.4 million. It's still the fastest selling system 3 months later. It still has, it's 5% above the PS4. It's 77% above the Switch 1 in terms of US sales. And it didn't launch in a holiday period. Unlike the PS4 that launched in a holiday period where you're going to have the maximum amount of people buying, but they did have some shortages when it comes down to it. But Switch 1 did not have full third-party support. So to me, it's a little bit more, I would say it's more impressive, and I'll get that dono in just a bit. To me, it's more impressive that the Switch 2 has been able to do what it's done. Yes, they had stock, but they don't have every single third-party game. They don't have every single major big COD and Battlefield and every single major game coming out day and date. They don't have that. Yet they're able to sell as much as the other systems that do. I mean, to me, that's impressive. So that's another point that people aren't really bringing up as much. So yeah, shout outs to Chrono. Thank you for the $5. Because obviously those numbers are the reason why Doug Bowser got fired. Can't wait for Legends next week. Yeah, I know, seriously. Shout outs V, appreciate that. A grip then changes from when Nintendo bad to people will buy slop and it's their fault gaming is where due to the Switch success. Yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna happen. Shout outs to Chrono Rig. Thank you for the $5 though. Big love. Thank you for the big 5. That's 11 on the board. Yo, we out there. Only 4 more combos and we will have our first extension. And we also have a new Stream Ninja, or sorry, Hokage, with my man Chrono Rig with the $5. Anybody does 5, you can beat him out on the board. Thank you so much. Actually, he swept the board here. Chrono Rig, thank you, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, what Alvin said is true. I think Doug Bowser's just old, man. He's ready to retire. Like, why are you gonna keep working a corporate job and stress yourself out when you got plenty of money? You know Nintendo pays pretty well, right? Y'all know being the president of Nintendo pays pretty well, right? And you know they got retirement packages and all that. So like once you get to a certain age, they like, hey, you want to retire? You can go, bro. You good. Like you got 401k, you got your retirement. You can live comfortably. You've made, millions of dollars. What's the point of still sitting there and waking up and going to business flights to Tokyo every single 2 weeks when you can sit back at 60 and hang out with your grandkids and actually play video games and chill and have a life again? Like, I do the same thing Doug Bowser did. I'm out. If I can retire at 60, I would. I mean, I hope I can, but I mean, so I don't blame him. I don't blame Reggie retired early too. Like I don't blame them leaving when they leave, man. It's time. There's no need to overextend anything. Let's see, I have a quick question. Will there be mounts in Pokemon Legends ZA? I haven't seen any, but I think that there will be, but we'll see. Let's see. I've heard someone compare the sales of Switch 2 to Hollow Knight. What does that mean? Don't matter what people say, won't tell me what to buy. I've been a Nintendo fan since a kid, Super Nintendo days. Exactly. I think that's the whole thing, is like you can say whatever you want online, but you're not the boss of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not the boss of me. I'll get whatever I get. You get whatever you want to get. Like I don't care what other people buy. Don't care what I get. So yeah. Yo, what's up, Chris? Welcome. What's up, Yak Diesel? Welcome to the stream. Did you try Galaxy 2 on Switch 2? I have not tried it enough. I've played it I just cracked it open just to kind of see it and look at it, and it looks incredible. But I've been playing Trails in the Sky. That's the game that I've been playing a lot. I've been playing Trails in the Sky, and for Prime Big Deals Day, guess what I got? This is how you know you're getting old. This is how you know you're getting old. I wasn't excited about getting a game or anything like that. I was excited about getting this premium screen cleaner that I've needed for quite some time to clean my screen, and I finally got a good screen cleaner and a good cleaning cloth that does not leave streaks. And this is and I was excited. That's how you know that you're old. I get excited about screen cleaner. Clean my screen up here, it looks nice. Clean this screen, clean my OLED TV, clean my Switch 2, and man, it looks even better. So dude, I was excited about that screen cleaner. And also, I ripped off some of the what's it called? The soundproofing foam, because it was making my green screen mess up. And my goop cleaner thing, because it left residue, is coming in tomorrow. I'm very excited to get that residue cleaned off there. And my wife and I, we cleaned out the garage. We just gotta call the garbage people to come take some of the stuff, like old appliances and all that. And I can't wait, because I'm going to finally renovate that garage. We're gonna have a nice little gym. We're gonna have a car parking spot. We're gonna have a nice little home gym, and we're gonna have like a nice little streaming center where if I don't want to stream inside, or if there's like something going on where it's too loud or whatever the case is, I can stream out there like with a laptop. I gotta buy the laptop, but yeah, I'm very excited. I'm gonna get that garage. We have it painted and everything. I'm gonna get that set up, so I'll have 2 different streaming areas. So that's what gets me excited in today's day. That's what I'm excited about now. Just finally got that garage cleaned out, man, on my day off. Let's see here. What's up, Allie? Shout outs, man. Welcome to the stream. I wish I could retire at 40. I know, seriously, Adam. Doug Bud just wanted to retire so we can actually play games instead of worrying about marketing report. Yeah, exactly, Alvin. Exactly. Could have been getting down Red Dead Redemption. I can't believe I never played it back in the day. Oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption's great. It's a great game. Chrono Rig, if you want some music, let me know. Thank you for the $5. Once again, shout outs to Chrono Rig. Anybody who does 5 or more, you can let me know. But also, if you do 5 or more, I can put your name on the board. But remember, Chrono Rig, get me some music if you want something, man. I got you. So it would be kind of weird if there's no go-go that you can ride, since you could in X and Y. Exactly. I think that there might be mounts, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's see here. Just don't become like your brother when he gets excited for something like a golden toilet. Yeah, he got excited for his like $1,000, $1,000-something toilet, man. He was like, man, go ahead and use the toilet. I'm like, bro, it's good. I'll just use the guest, because like they got a big old house, but like they have like a guest bedroom that's like separate from everywhere else, and there's a bathroom and a shower, and and that one's nice enough. Like, I'm like, oh man, I'll just use this. He's like, no, use it, and it's inside like his room and his his master bedroom is like as big as like an apartment. It's like legit. And I'm not even capping on there. That little extra area that I was in, that was like a little side area to the actual, it's like the size of like an apartment, of like a small apartment, that master bedroom. But yeah, he was like, yeah, man, that toilet, it's got like this fidget thing. It's so good. And I saw it, man, that looked like a supercomputer toilet. It really did look crazy. It had buttons and all sorts of stuff, man. I ain't never seen that man so happy for a toilet. But my brother, like I said, we getting old. This is what you get excited about. You get excited for screen cleaners, residue remover, and toilets. That's what happens when you get old. Oh man. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, 91 Gamer Boy? Welcome to the stream, man. Let's see here. You know what? That probably is the best place to play your Switch 2. It probably is one of the better places to play the Switch 2 is right there, man. Continue to try to beat all the Prime games before Prime 4. Hey, there you go, Dr. Birdie. Let's go. He says, nah, I'll try the golden toilet. I'm sorry. He should paint it gold. I should tell him, yo, man, you should just paint the toilet gold while you're at it, you know? That toilet did look high tech, though. It looked super nice. I got to keep it a buck. That toilet was nice. To be honest, though, I think I already changed the toilets when I moved into this place, but I'm pretty sure I got to change. I might get like a really super cool toilet in like the master bedroom. I think I'll do that. Just because, like, why not? Maybe if I find a good deal, like Black Friday coming up, if I see like a really cool super deal on one of them toilets, I'll probably pick one up, you know, and get that installed. So I'll probably pick one up and get that installed there. So we'll see. You're doing too much if you install a golden toilet. Maybe. Yo, Justin with another $1 dono. Says, for the marathon stream, you should try to find a shiny. I can tell you how to find it in 30 minutes. All right, maybe we can do that for the marathon stream. Remember, guys, at 50 on the platinum streak. So if we hit 100 on the combo breaker today, we're at 45. So we're only 5 more platinum streaks till we get a, what's it called? Till we get the marathon stream. Yo, Con 8 with the 5.
Hey OJ, hope you're having a good day.
I am.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't have much time to play games, but I really want either Final Fantasy Tactics or Pokemon Legends Za. Which one should I get?
Yeah, if you don't have much time to play games and like you kind of just want to pop in and play and kind of pop out, I think that Pokemon Legends ZA might be a better game for that. Now, Final Fantasy Tactics has a very deep story and lore and reading, and Pokemon will too, but Pokemon stories, they're kind of more lighthearted, and they can get dark at times, like backstory lore stuff, but they're kind of a little bit more pick up and play with Pokemon, like, oh, go get a couple ZA Royales done. Whereas Final Fantasy Tactics, that's going to be like, okay, I got this mission, I gotta read, I gotta think, I gotta do all this, you know. So I would say Pokemon Legends ZA would probably be like the little bit better game for pick up and play, and a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more like, okay, I won't have to think as much as I have to think in a Final Fantasy Tactics, you know. So that I would recommend Tactics for that. I would recommend Pokemon Legends ZA for that one. Shoutouts to Con 8. You are now the Hokage Stream Ninja, and we got a 3-way tie at the top of the board between Justin, Chrono Rig, and Con 8 for the highest amount for this stream. In terms of the total. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And of course, we've got the 5. We got to add that in there. That gets us to 16. And you guys know what that means. First combo break and the overclock 15-minute extension. Let's go.
Overclock Buster.
Yo, what's up, Glenmore Legister? Welcome to the stream. Big love, Glenmore. Welcome. Thank you so much, Con 8. Thank you for that $5 dono. I appreciate that, brother. Let's see here. You're a legend, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time here on the stream, man. I mean, you could be doing but you don't have a lot of time to play games and all that, and you probably don't have a lot of time to do other stuff either. So the fact that you're spending some time and you're dropping a dono to support the stream, I appreciate that, guys. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that come through, spend life. Like I said, you don't ever get this time back, man. So I don't want to say I'm corny or nothing, but I really do appreciate you guys coming through to the stream. I really appreciate you guys supporting. Appreciate you guys dropping questions, talking. Like I said, man, y'all created a dream for me to have a cool community, a tight-knit community. So thank you so much. And keep the questions coming in the chat. If you guys want to talk about anything else, let me know. We can discuss more of the sales numbers. For those who don't know, Switch 2 for the August MPD. So June, July, August now. In August MPD, it was #1 revenue sales. It's still the best-selling system of the year so far. And it's also 77% above the Switch 1. Sales are over 2.5 million, or sorry, 2.4 million in the US alone. Sales are 5% above the PS4, 77% above the Switch 1 of the launch aligned. And yeah, it's doing okay. It's doing good. So that's essentially it. That was the big news, major news that I talked about today. Some people said I was clickbaiting, but to me, it was pretty major news. General Zamora with the $2 dono says, play Warden theme from Legends Arceus. All right, I got you. Warden theme. Warden theme. Legends Arceus. Thank you so much to my man General Zamora, always coming through. Thank you for the big $2 dono through Super Chat. Appreciate that, man. Super nice of you. Remember, drop a dono, get that music in. Let's get some bangers playing today, guys. Appreciate that. 18 on the combo board, so we are rolling along. Let's go. Next one up, 30 on the combo breaker. Let's go. Thank you, V. I love you guys too. Just pre-ordered Legends on GameStop now. Hey, there you go, Kane. Hey, you won't be disappointed, Kane. This time around, we're not gonna have the situation that we had with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I need to make a video on that too. It's not gonna be the problem with that, because I see some people saying, "Oh, well, I remember what happened with Scarlet and Violet. This is gonna be the same thing." I'm like, no, hold up, no, it's not. First of all, it's a Legends game, so it's not gonna be as big as Scarlet and Violet, all right? And it doesn't have all the stuff that Scarlet and Violet has, so let's just keep that in mind. So we got to remember. Now, don't get me wrong. There definitely could be some things, but based off what we've seen so far, it's running and looking a lot smoother and better than what we saw with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and even Pokemon Legends at first. So yeah, absolutely. OJ, what's the funniest excuse for current Switch 2 sales you've heard? The funniest excuse? That's a good question. I think the funniest excuse was Nintendo were the scalpers themselves. If I'm not correct, I think Nintendo made a video about that. He stated that that Nintendo doesn't have scalpers, that Nintendo are the scalpers themselves. So I think that's probably the funniest cope that I've seen. Clickbait cope, excuse, whatever you want to say. Justin with the $1 dono. Shout out to Justin with the $1 dono. Appreciate that. And he says, saw an old video in my recommendation called "Should Nintendo Sell Its Soul?" Crazy how everything still rings true today. You were spot on. Shout outs, Justin. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of stuff does ring true today. You know, stuff that I've said before. I haven't been right about everything, Justin, but, you know, I've been right about a few things in my day. 19 on the combo board. Justin now taking full ownership. The sole spot with the $6 total. Anybody does 6 more, you can tie them up on the board. And of course, Justin, if you want some music, let me know. And I got you. And I will get your name as the sole Hokage on the board as well. Thank you, Justin, for another $1 dono. I always play 2 or 3 games every gen, it seems. Although I got 440 Switch 1 and 10 Switch 2 games. We have some time for Splatoon 3 Tears of the Kingdom backlog like a mother. Yeah, Laker, I feel you on that one. What's up, Dan Lee? I heard today Nintendo Online Shadow dropped a few games today. One of them was Mario and Wario. Yeah, that was today. Yeah. They Shadow dropped some well, this is the Super Nintendo games, Stanley. Yeah. Sales could only get better. Watch when the new 3D Mario and Animal Crossing drop. Exactly. That was my video today, Misfit. My video was like, wait a minute. Switch 2 sales are doing this good, and we haven't even gotten to the 3D Mario, the big new Zelda game, the new Smash Brothers game, the new Animal Crossing game, the new Splatoon game. Splatoon Raiders is coming. Like, there's still a large number of games that can push units that's not even out yet, you know? Pokemon Legends is also one of the better selling games on Switch 1, so I think it's also going to help out here too. Never got a notification. Always search for your name. I have a feeling you might be like, all right, shout out to MUFC. Sorry that you didn't get a notification, bro. Let's see here. Time is a flat circle in this community. Hey, appreciate you, Volt. Thank you for coming out. What's up, J2 Blue? The Beast is here. What's good, J2? What's up, George FT? Welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing today? I wonder how many years before Switch 2 has as many exclusives as the PS5, 2 to 3 years. You know, the funny thing is that if you remove, gosh, maybe I'll talk about this in a video. I have so many videos to make. But like, I saw a photo the other day. Let me see if I still have it so I can take a look, at my photos or my, So I saw a photo the other day. Yeah, here it is, of all of the PS5 exclusives. And if you look at the PS5 exclusives, man, if you remove the remasters and remakes, it's actually close. Like if you remove, like you say, like no remasters or remakes, it's actually already somewhat close. Let me send this over to myself so that I can let you guys see it too. And I don't want to cap those, so hold on, give me a second. So I'm gonna send it to myself because it's on my phone. I saw it on my phone. All right, so I sent it to myself. So then I'll go on Twitter. Go on Twitter. And if I go on Twitter and I look at the sales numbers, yeah. So I'm looking at this right here. Somebody made this. Let me get some comments first, though, then we'll look at that. You see pre-order Legend Z on Amazon yesterday. The charge is yet to come out, but I'm surprised I was able to play Fit Galaxy 1 and 2 plus Legend Z on the budget. Only a week to go till I can play it. Hype, nice. Yeah, you don't get charged till it ships, Montana, from Amazon. Lose SSBU says, always find it funny when people talk about Switch 2 console price when most of the handhelds out right now are about $200 more on average beside the Steam Deck. Yeah, and the Steam Deck doesn't come with the dock. Like the 450 Steam Deck doesn't come with the dock, but the 550 Steam Deck and the 650 Steam Deck, I mean, those are $100 to $200 more expensive, or $150 more expensive than the Switch 2. So, well, up to 200 because like the 6-something one. So, so yeah. So okay, so here we go. So I saw this the other day, and this is the output right now. First party studios, first party titles. This is the output that we have from Sony, and I think this is why I have depression from Sony this generation when it comes to first party. I've enjoyed the third party games for the most part, but this is the first party lineup for Sony. Like, this is the first party lineup, and this lineup's, I don't think it's very good when I look at it. It's okay, but I don't find this lineup to be great. So if you look at 2020, you got Spider-Man Remastered, you know, Astro's Playroom, which, you know, that's a built-in game, whatever, sure. Demon Souls Remake, you had Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, the MLB The Show, Ghost, which, can you even count MLB game, like a multi-plat sports game? Like, you had Ghost, which is a remaster, and then you had Uncharted. I mean, this is from 2020 to 2022. This is what they had. So for about 2 years, like, I mean, what you had was, you know, Spider-Man, that's the DLC pack. Okay, that's fine. I don't even count Nintendo's DLC packs, you know? But a DLC pack, you got a remaster, you got a built-in game, you got a PS3 remake. Here's your first, like, I think they're forgetting the Little Big Planet game. They missed the Little Big Planet game. So anyway, there's a Little Big Planet game that they missed. Sackboy's Big Adventure. So there's that game. And I think that they missed Destruction All-Stars. But whatever. Those games are terrible. I'm not counting Everybody 1-2 Switch or something like that. So, Demon Souls Remake. I mean, this is the first real actual game right here, which would be Returnal. So, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, and then Remaster. I mean, 2021 didn't really have anything. It had 2 actual games, MLB The Show, and Remaster, which is fine. Once again, whatever. And then 2022 had Remaster, Horizon, that's a real game, that's good. Gran Turismo 7, that's a real game, that's good. We're not counting MLB. Last of Us Remaster, God of War. So, like, 2022 had 3 games, you know? So, between 2021 and 2022, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're looking at 5 actual games. Like, new actual games. And I don't mind, you know, dual launches, because, like, you know, Horizon's a dual launch, God of War Ragnarok is a dual launch, you know, I don't mind the dual launches at all, you know. This is DLC, you know, so whatever. But for 2 years, we had 5 games in 2 years, like big brand new games. So when I say that, it's like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're like already somewhat hitting that number. Because if you count the actual new games that Nintendo's had for this year, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. They're going to have Pokemon Legends ZA. They're going to have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. They're going to have Kirby Air Riders. And they're going to have Metroid Prime 4. So that's 6 games. 6 actual brand new games. Non-remaster, non-sports games, non-re-release. That's 6 games in 6 months. Compared to 5 real big new games in 2 years. So it's like, and I say that it's not like, you know, I try to not cap on that, but I mean, like, this is the situation that we have right now. This is the situation that we have right now. So yeah. Saros isn't out yet. They have Intergalactic and they have Wolverine, but yeah, Saros isn't on here, but that's missing. I mean, you can count the Little Big Planet game. That would be 6 games total, like big new games, in 2 years. Now, if you go past that, you look at 2023. You got DLC. You got MLB The Freaking Show, and then you've got Spider-Man. They really, for 2023, they had 1 new game. They had 1 big new game in 2023. All they had was this. Now, if you want to count the DLC, you can count the DLC. But I think you need the base game to play this deal. Like, you can't play this separately. You need the base game, if I'm not correct. But correct me if I'm wrong. And then just 2023, just Spider-Man. I mean, unless I'm missing something in 2023. Concord's missing too. Concord does not exist. We can't count Concord because Concord actually legitimately does not exist anymore. So we can't count Concord. That game does not exist. So 2024, you've got another remaster. That's fine, whatever. You got MLB The Show, and you've got Astrobot. You've got literally just like 1 game. That's it. So, I mean, if you count through it, we're looking at like almost like less than 10 games in this whole generation. Big, brand new games. Little Big Planet game, that was new. We can count Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's a DLC, but whatever. Spider-Man Miles Morales, Little Big Planet game. Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Horizon, Gran Turismo, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Astrobot, like, and Ghost of Yotei. We've got this whole generation. We've got 10 games. 10 big brand new games that are not remasters, re-releases, or sports freaking games that are multi-plat. Yeah, there's been 10 games in 5 years. This output is terrible. This output's terrible. Like I said, if you don't count remasters, re-releases, remakes, I didn't count Mario.
The pre-orders are coming
Mario,
from Saws,
you know.
1 on Switch 2 and Switch 1 now. Also, that Horizon game is the VR game.
Oh, that's the VR game? Yeah, the VR games, we're not counting VR games, my bad. So yeah, I thought that was the DLC, but okay, it's the VR game. Yeah, we're not counting VR games. But anyway, it's still 10 though, because I didn't count it, so it's still 10. I mean, if you want to count Demon Souls, go ahead and count Demon Souls. Sure, I'll count it. Okay, I'll count it as well. So they've got 11 games in 5 years. That is terrible output, in my opinion. I mean, I would say that you would have at least maybe 3 games per year, so 15 games total, big brand new games. So to sit there and say that Nintendo's approaching the amount, it's actually not far off of that. You know, by next year, by midway next year, we should have Fire Emblem, Yoshi, and Mario Tennis Ace, or Mario Tennis Fever. So that's 3 more. So that's 9 games already. And like I said, I'm not counting Switch 2 editions. I'm not counting Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not counting those remasters, remake. I'm not counting Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not counting Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition, even though those have new. I'm not counting any of those. I'm not counting Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I mean, if I counted those, then it's actually maybe somewhat close. That's the funny thing. If I counted the Switch 2 editions of games, it's actually somewhat close, because if you count Kirby, if you count if you count like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, if you count all that stuff, you know, and here's another thing. I didn't even count Welcome Tour. I didn't count Dragon Drive. I didn't count those games either. You know, even though Dragon Drive probably should count. It's a brand new game. It's not a re-release, remaster, whatever. So if you want to count that, that's fine. You can count it. So Nintendo would have 7. So it would be 10 or 10 plus 11 by the end of spring. Depending on when Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave comes out. But yeah. Fair Games is supposedly this year. I don't know if Fair Games is this year. Is it coming out this year? They're saying 2025, but I don't know if this game is coming out this year. So we'll see. I'm at the Dodgers game right now. I'm just dropping to say, what's up? Hey, check it. Hey, have a nice day at the Dodgers game, man. Appreciate you. Big love to Justin with the $3 dono, and thank you, Alvin, for the subscription. Yeah, the pre-orders of ZA are Switch 1 and Switch 2, Switch 1 now, and Switch 1 now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Pokemon Legends ZA. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Overclock Buster!
My phone just told me something. All right, big love. Thank you, Justin, for the $3 dono. Let's get that tallied up there. 22 on the combo board. Let's go. We're only 8 combos away, guys, from a 30-minute extension on today's stream. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let's go. We already got the 15-minute extension. Justin extends the lead to 9 on the combo board as well. Shout out to anybody who does 9 or more. You can beat up my man Justin at the top of the board. Let's go. Wouldn't you consider Helldivers 2? Oh yeah, Helldivers 2 was not on there, so you can add Helldivers 2 on there as well, if you want to. It is multi-plat on PC as well, but yeah, and it's on Xbox too. But yeah, I mean, sure, you can count that as well. Yeah, you can count it, and that would be like what, 11 games, 11, 12 games. So yeah. Let's see, Marathon, I guess. Yeah, Marathon's not out yet. Marathon isn't out yet, so. That's not even including Tomodachi Life Rhythm. Yeah, I'm not including we should, because those are probably getting Switch 2 editions. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a Switch 2 upgrade for those games, like a free 4K update for Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven. I wouldn't be surprised about that. So yeah, I mean, if we count those as well, obviously the output is way more. So yeah, plus there are other games that haven't been announced that are most likely coming from some other franchises. Yeah, which once again, like, it's not about like comparison, because like Sony has way more third-party support. They get all the big games, so they don't necessarily need to do as much. But like, when I'm looking at some people try to sit there and say some things about the lineup, like I was talking with some guy today, he's like, oh well, Sony and Microsoft had better lineups at launch, and I'm like, what Sony and Microsoft were you like? I bought the systems at launch. What lineup was better than Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends ZA, what's it called? Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders, and Metroid Prime 4. What 6 months stretch was better than that? Because I don't recall that being a thing. And he hasn't responded to me yet, because Microsoft literally had no first party games at launch. I was there. I bought the system. And then I asked a question on Twitter saying, why are there no first party? Like, I asked a question saying, is this the worst first party like rollout of games ever? And like, even Xbox people were like, yeah, it is. Like, it's the worst rollout of games that we've ever seen. And then I'm not gonna have people gaslight me into thinking that Sony and Microsoft have these incredible launch lineups, like with the PS5 and the Xbox Series. No, they didn't. Where? What were the big first? We just looked at it. What are you talking about? I mean, Miles Morales, okay. Spider-Man Remastered, okay, sure. Like, PS4 games, okay, that's great. Like, Miles Morales was like an expansion. It was a smaller expansion. That's fine. That's a good game. Demon's Souls remake, okay, it's a remake. And then what else? That Sackboy game wasn't that great. Destruction All-Stars? That game was trash. What were all the big, awesome games at launch that rolled out in the first number of months? Remember, Ratchet and Clank and Returnal came out like way later. Those came out like in May or June. Like, those were summer of the following year. The PS5 launched in November, so it took them 6-7 months to get the actual big first party games that weren't remakes or remasters or expansions. So I don't want to hear that. Like, I was there, so people can't gaslight. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking that, because that seems to be the thing to do. Act like Microsoft and Sony were just incredible and everybody was just like, oh my god, look at all the games that we're playing. Where were all those games? I don't see the lineup. I'm sorry. Where were all those games? Foam Party. I think Foam Party was after. That was like a year or two ago, right? Shinru with the $5 dono.
Sup, ninjas.
What's up, Shinru?
Felt good doing something nice for someone who's down on life. Gifted them my Zelda Switch Lite plus a few games included MK8, Metroid Prime, Zelda, Link's Awakening, Octopath Traveler and my extra Mario 3D All-Stars. A track from Mario Galaxy.
Shoutouts to Shinru, man. You're a generous and nice dude. It's always good to do good stuff for people, and you've done a lot of good for this community as well. So I appreciate you, Shinru. You are a truly stand-up individual, man. Mario Galaxy, good A Galaxy music, and shoutouts to Shinru. That type of karma will come back, and it's gonna help you out, and it's gonna help and enrich your life, Shinru. So big love, dude. Appreciate that. 27 on the combo board, and Shinru does type Chrono Rig and Con 8 for the Stream Ninja lead, biggest singular dono of the stream. Anybody that does 5 or more, you can break that tie, that 3-way tie at the top of the board. And we're only 3 combos away from a 30-minute extension on today's stream. Let's go. PlayStation 5 had a decent library over 5 years. I don't have no games I play, especially I own all 3 consoles. Launch was decent for PS5 for me. What were the big launch games that were decent? What were the big launch rollout games on PS5? Let me know. Go ahead. What were the big launch rollout games? What were you playing, Casual Noob? I see people saying this, and I have a hard time believing that there was just these incredible games, because I had a PS5 at launch as well, and I don't recall that being a bunch of incredible games launching, and it was just great, like, hype stuff to look forward to every single month. Let me know what games there were, please. I'm actually interested in hearing what were all these awesome games that were launching on the PS5 at launch and months afterwards, like in the launch window. Go ahead, let me know. Let's see here. Shout out Shinru. Appreciate you. The launch for the PS5 was trash, but they did let everyone claim most of the critically acclaimed PS4 games on free for PSN, which was nice. They're all still in my library. Let's see here. Astros, Spider-Man, Remastered, and Miles Morales. So an expansion, a remaster of a game, and a built-in tech demo. That's what was really good. A remaster, a built-in tech demo, and an expansion. Okay, well, like I said, if Nintendo only had for the first launch a built-in demo, an expansion, and trust me, people would have a problem with that. You need a big Mario Kart, you need a big Zelda game, you need a big 3D Mario. People would have a very much of a problem with that if it was Nintendo that did that. But yeah, if that's what you thought was great, sure. I will disagree. I will disagree with that. I don't think a remaster, an expansion, a DLC expansion, and a built-in tech demo is a good launch. I don't think that's a good launch, but hey, that's fine. If you think it was good, then it was good for you. Let's see here. Personally, I thought Sony should have waited to push Ghost for the PS5 launch title. Waited to push Ghost for the PS5 launch title? Which Ghost? The Ghost remaster, or which one? It says first party obsession. First party is what drives the individuality and the uniqueness of the system. It's very important to have big first party games, because a lot of third party games aren't going to take full advantage of the system, especially at launch. A lot of them are just going to be like what you can get on the PS4, but just slightly better resolution or whatever. All they do is like flip the resolution button, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But to me, I like, especially at launch, you need to have some defining games that show, okay, this is the reason why it's on this system over what we had previously, at least in my opinion. But yeah, if you feel like it's an over reliance on first party, go ahead and tell me all the great third party games that were at launch on the PS5, because like I said, I had one. But go ahead and let me know all the great third-party games that were incredible, that reviewed super high, that people were like, oh my god, these games are just so great for the PS5 launch. Go ahead, let me know about those too then, Seven Guard. So let me hear about that. Honestly, and I'm not being like sarcastic or anything. Let me know about that, because maybe I do not see what you guys were seeing at launch when it comes to the PS5. Some of you guys are, oh no, it was great. Okay, feel free to put the games down. Let's hear them. You know, feel free. Let's see here. What's your thoughts on Daemon X Machina? They fumbled the Nintendo Switch 2 version of that game. It's a cool game, but they fumbled it. Yeah, like I said, I don't mind a dual launch game. I don't mind a game coming out on. I have Miles. I have Miles Morales. Like, I don't mind. Like, I don't count against the game if it launches on PS4 and on PS5. I don't mind that. I have no issue with that at all. I don't count it against, like, for example, I didn't count Horizon against, that's a PS4 game as well. I didn't count God of War Ragnarok against the, like, I don't have an issue, you know? I don't count those against it for being, you know, as long as it does some things to take advantage of the new system, I don't mind it being on the other one and say, oh, it doesn't count as a game. It counts, you know? So I counted Miles Morales at the end, you know? So yeah. You can look at how massive the first party was for the Switch when the sales of those games. First party is super important. Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, and I know first party is more important than it is for like Sony. But like the launch titles that you guys are saying, it's Call of Duty. That's what you guys are talking about. It's GTA. You don't have to put them in the chat. I know the launch titles for the PS5. It's GTA re-release. It's Call of Duty. It's the yearly sports games. Those are the games that launch with the PS5. Those are the games. It's whatever Assassin's Creed came out. It's the same stuff, okay? So, I know what the launch title, it's the same games. So yeah, I didn't count Welcome Tour. I think that should have been bundled in the package, which I've said many times, but I mean, if you want to count it, you can count it. I didn't even count Drag and Drive, you know, which, once again, that should count. It's a brand new game. It's not a remaster, re-release, or remake, but, you know, whatever. So yeah. Let's see. I don't think a lot of us got a PS5 at launch, to be fair. Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you didn't get one, so you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I was there. I got one. It was hard to get a PS5 at launch, but I'm not going to revise history because a lot of you guys have Sony good no matter what. Not saying you in particular, but that seems to be some of the things, like, without even mentioning, like, the actual games, without even, like, Sony good. It was good. It's Sony. It's good. It's Microsoft. I literally had some guy tell me that Microsoft's launch was great without even mentioning a single game. And he refuses to tell me what were all the great games that he played at launch and the lineup. I've been asking him, yo, man, like, because he was like, oh, well, the Switch 2 sales, it doesn't matter. It was, you can find them on store. I'm like, okay, well, what were the big games? What were the big Xbox games? He refuses to talk about it. I'm not getting gaslit by certain people, you third-party psycho people that sit there and think if it's third party, it's great. Just because it's at launch. No, tell me what all the great stuff was. I'm not getting duped like these people online are easily tricked, okay? So if you're going to argue a point, or if you're going to say, hey, you know, it was great, it was good, list what it was. List what it was. Don't just say it was great and it's third party and say I'm having a reliance on... Tell me what was great so we can discuss it. Because if something's trash, I'm not going to say it's great. If something's great, I'm going to say it's great. I'm going to give now everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I'm not going to just sit here and say, Sony, great. That's what people do online. It's PlayStation, so it's okay. No. No, we don't do that with anybody else. Let's not do that here. You know? That seems to be the attitude from people online. Well, it's a new system. It's great. Power. No. You got to be able to play. So no, I'm not just giving it a pass because Call of Duty. And because you can play Madden and Call of Duty on there, that's great. But no. Let's see here. Shout outs to Shaw X with the $5 dono. It says, I meant maybe you should have launched with Ghost of Tsushima as a PS5, but instead Ghost came out in July. Oh. Yeah, that probably would have changed the perception just a little bit if they would have just waited, and that would have been a PS4 and PS5 dual launch. Yeah, I can see that for sure. 32 on the combo board. Thank you so much, my man. Shaw X, oh my gosh, a 4-way tie at the top of the board. Yo, let's go. Shaw X. And of course, we have hit, again, the 30-minute extension combo breaker. Let's get that overclock going as well. Overclock 49 months as well. Overclocks. We are out here. Let's go. I don't remember any big releases for PS5 at launch, nor for the Xbox Series at launch. The Switch 2 destroyed both console games at launch. That's what I'm saying. Like, I meant like the launch rollout of games. The launch, like the first 6 months. It's not always just going to be at the launch. Obviously, the rollout of games is going to be very important, you know. So, what were the rollout of games? You know? Once again, I bought a PS5 at launch. I bought a PS5 at launch. I bought an Xbox Series X at launch. I was there, ready and willing to buy stuff, you know? I don't think I even had a single first... I think... I played Borderlands 3 on the... Like, there was an Xbox Series X update. That's what I played on my Xbox Series X, was a Borderlands 3 update. And I got bored of it after, like, 10 hours. Thank you for the 49 months, Alan Ruiz. Appreciate that. I think people just gave Sony the benefit of the doubt when it comes to PS5 and bought it at launch, promise of big games in the future. And that's fine. But don't gaslight me into thinking that there was all this stuff. when you're over here talking about remasters, remakes, and built-in soft tech demos and talking about that was a great launch. No, it wasn't. You know, like, no, it wasn't. And if you had fun, then you had fun. But, dude, I never in my life would I want Nintendo to ever launch with remasters, remakes, and a freaking built-in tech demo. That, I mean, listen, Wii Sports is great. It's a great game, but they still launched with Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. The Wii U still launched with at least New Super Mario Bros. That was not a great launch, though. Like, it was not a great launch. I had third-party games, but I bought Nintendo Land, New Super Mario Bros. That's not the best launch. But the Switch 1 launched with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Switch 2 launched with Mario Kart World and had Donkey Kong Bonanza out a month later. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want tech demos and remasters for the launch of a system. I want some of the big new games as well, you know? Like, actual big new games, not expansions, remasters, and built-in software, you know? So yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, that doesn't, you don't get, I mean, listen, once again, Wii Sports was great. That was obviously a genre-defining type of game, and it was good that, at least here in the US, that we got it, with the pack-in, right? And I think in Europe as well. I think Japan was the only place where it wasn't a pack-in. That's great, and it did help sell the system, because it was a unique thing. But they still had Excitebots. They still had Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Even though it was a dual launch, but once again, I don't have a problem with the dual launch. Like, I need a big core game as well, because, like, I wasn't just playing Wii Sports all day. I wanted to play, a core game as well, and I bought Excitebots. That was great. Or no, sorry, Excite Truck. Sorry, Excite Truck. Excite Truck, that was good, and Twilight Princess was fantastic. So, yeah, like, we gotta talk about that. We can't just give it a slide or give it a pass. So, OJ, there's a pre-order bonus for Pokemon ZA, like 100 Pokeballs or something. There's various different pre-order bonuses on various different places. So I gotta see, I gotta see what those are. When's the last time a tech demo blew you away? Ooh, a tech demo blew me away? Like a playable tech demo, or just like something that I saw, something. I don't know if I ever get, I mean, Wii Sports was it kind of blew me away because it was so intuitive. Like, when I first played tennis, I was kind of blown away by that. So that was like, 20 years ago, going on 20 years ago now, because I think it was 2006, so about 20 years ago. But if you're talking about something that I saw visually, there's been a lot of pretty crazy tech demos out there. The Zelda Wii U tech demo for the Wii U, when that was pretty impressive. The Space World stuff, the Mario 128, I think the Final Fantasy VII Remake tech demo, the PS3 technical test, that kind of blew me away as well. So there's been some stuff over the years. Shinru, I paid a lot on top to get at launch, and I was excited, but the first 6 months was underwhelming. Nothing of note came out. No game changes, needle movers for me personally. Yeah, I'll say that for me, the PS5, it really got going once Ratchet and Clank came out and once Returnal came out. I bought both of those games day one. Now, do I like those games a lot? Varying levels. I think Returnal is really good. I liked that. I played that, put a lot of hours into it. Ratchet and Clank, I don't think is that great. I think it's just okay. But at least they're new, exclusive, big games. But once again, I think Returnal came out. When did Returnal come out? That came out in Returnal release date. That came out in, was it April? Or was it, when did Returnal launch? I think, was it April for Returnal? I forgot when it was. It's giving me mixed signals here. Okay, Friday, April 30th. So pretty much almost May. Pretty much May. So yeah. So it took them, quite a bit of time. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months before it got that first big game after the original launch of the system. There was like nothing in between then when it comes to big first party titles. Imagine if the launch for the Kirby Forgotten Land, DLC, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild upgrades, and that's all. That's exactly what PS5 launch was. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, if you want to start talking about, oh, tech demos and remasters and re-releases were great launch lineups, then the Switch 2 had the greatest launch lineup of all time. It had 2 remasters with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It had multiple game updates, Echoes of Wisdom, which essentially looks like a brand new game. Echoes of Wisdom, Link's Awakening. It had Mario Odyssey in 4K, 60 locked 60 FPS. So that was the best launch of all time because it had all of those games. Now, if you tried to play PS4 games on PS5, it did not boost the frame rate. No, it doesn't do that. The backwards compatibility in the PS4 does not use the extra horsepower in GPU, even if the frame rate is unlocked. So if you have, like, let's say Infamous Second Son doesn't all of a sudden run at, you know, locked 60 FPS on the PS5 if you play it there, you know, and I don't think there was any updates or anything to that game. So it's one of those things to where, like, if you start counting all of that, then the Switch 2 obviously blows away the PS5 launch, and Xbox Series, it would still beat it because it has some actual unique new games like Mario Kart World. But Xbox Series didn't have a single first-party game. It just had all third-party plus backwards compatibility updates. So yeah. We getting hype about ZA here. Picked up the Yooka-Laylee remake today. It feels a lot better than the original. That's good. But are you playing it on Switch 2 or are you playing it on Xbox or PlayStation? Because, like, it's that 30 frames per second right now on Switch 2. Switch 2 released in June, and they released the Racer, Kirby, Mario Kart World, Shooter, Splatoon, Platformer, Donkey Kong Adventure, Metroid Prime 4 covers all genres. It's amazing. That's what I've been trying to say. People are trying to tell me that I'm shilling or I'm crazy for thinking that the rollout of games is way better than whatever we've gotten before in the past. Like, it is. It's just flat out is. And we'll find out. Legends ZA is coming out. We're going to see the review scores for that. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Dude, Age of Calamity got like what? Age of Calamity on Metacritic? That got like a what? Metacritic, Age of Calamity got, what, a 77? Age of Calamity. That got a 78 somehow. So, I mean, I'm hoping that with actual good frame rate, you know, it's going to be at least an 80. So I'm going to guess like a low 80. No, Age of Calamity got a 78 because the pacing and the story is really good, and when the game works properly, it's fun. It's like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Like, when it works, it's actually fun, but when it doesn't work, it's not good. Age of Calamity probably would have got like an 85 or 86 if it actually ran properly, like, all the time. Like, if it actually ran at 60 FPS or even a locked 30, I'm guessing it would have had like an 84 Metacritic or something, because it actually is a really fun Warriors game. But yeah. So I'm guessing that Age of Imprisonment is going to have at least an 80, maybe like a low 80s score. That's what I'm guessing. So that's going to be another good game. I think that Kirby Air Riders is going to be interesting. I don't think that game's going to rate very high. I think it's going to be like a mid to low 70s, but we'll see. And then Metroid Prime 4 is going to rate really high. I would guess Metroid Prime 4 is going to rate like in the high 80s, somewhere in that range on Switch 2. So I think that's a solid lineup. You got games across the board in the 80s range when it comes to the major titles. You got one Game of the Year candidate with the, Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I think that's pretty good for the first 6 months, you know. But we'll see. Let's see here. Second Son does run at 60 on PS5. Not interested in the console war stuff, but I love Nintendo too. But mentioning that happened, play Second Son. I do not recall it running at 60 FPS or anyone saying that it did. I played it on my PS5 and it did not run at 60 FPS on PS5. I don't recall that. Did they update it? But I don't recall that being a thing. So if I'm wrong, my bad on that one. But I don't recall that being a thing unless there was an update that I missed. And I don't recall PS4 games getting bumps on PS5 in terms of frame rate. Like, you have to download an update. Like, it doesn't just naturally do it. Like, it doesn't just run at a better frame rate without an update. So yeah, let me know if I'm wrong on that. Let me know. Last Guardian runs at 60 FPS from the boost. Okay. I believe it was a PS4 Pro update, performance mode. Sure, it's 60 on PS5, man. Okay, so PS4 Pro update. Okay, then I missed that one. I didn't see the PS4 Pro update, so if I'm wrong on that. But once again, you can test out PS4 games on your PS5. Games that run at 30, if there's no update it doesn't all of a sudden make it 60 FPS or whatever the case is. Now, Xbox does a lot of games, like, so for example, let's say Final Fantasy 15, for example, right? Final Fantasy 15, if you play that game, it's a PS4 game. If you play that game on PS5, it is not going to bump it up to 60 frames per second. But if you play it on Xbox Series X, it does. Now, that's what I remember. Now, if they fixed it, then let me know. But I recall that being a very big advantage for the Xbox Series, because the Xbox Series can actually take a lot of these games without updates and bump them up to 60 if they're uncapped frame rates, whereas the PS5 did not do that from what I recall. Now, once again, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. Had a PS4 performance mode too. Okay, had a performance mode on PS4 Pro. Okay, let's double check just to make sure. Infamous Second Son 60. Okay. Second Son on PS5. There is no 60 FPS patch or PS5 patch. The game has always been capable of 60 FPS, but the PS4 wasn't powerful enough to hit it. Oh, okay. Backwards compatible. There was no native. Okay, so there's no native one. Both Second Son and First Light have a 60 FPS cap since the first release. There's no... Okay, gotcha. PS4 wasn't powerful enough. The frame rate would drop a lot. Power of the PS5, though, again, it was at lock 60. Okay, cool. Good stuff there. Okay, so my bad. I was wrong on that. It has a performance mode. They did an update for the performance mode, but there are third-party games. My bad on that one. There are third-party games that don't have that they just run. So, for example, I think what game else did I play on? I think it was like Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm not sure if that runs at 60 on PS5. So my bad on that one. Shout out to Rob. Thank you for correcting me on that one, guys. I try to pride myself on being right, but I was wrong on that one, so my bad. On the original PS4 Infamous Second Son had an unlocked frame rate. Yes, fluctuating. Down to drop the lower intense moments. Gotcha. Well, if you play it on PS5, from what I'm reading here, it's locked at 60. So now it's locked at 60. So that's definitely a good thing. Not all PS4 games got the boost. It varies. I think Drive Club got a 60 boost overall as well. Launch. Okay, nice. Yeah. I think if you're looking at it too, the games that are, like the unlocked frame rate games or whatever the case is, but there are a number of games on Switch 1, for example, that if you play them on Switch 2, they're not unlocked, so they don't get that boost. They don't get the update. So, like, for example, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Like, if it ran at an unlocked frame rate, it would have been able to play at 60 FPS or closer to that without Nintendo having to do anything. So I really wish that Nintendo knew that well, actually, wait a minute. I don't know when in Nintendo's period where they found out that they were doing that, because apparently they were testing it, and they just kind of like randomly found out that a lot of Switch 1 games run better. But I think by the time that they were making Paper Mario, they weren't thinking about that, because the Switch 2 was still in development. But yeah, I wish they would release an uncapped frame rate for Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. So I wish they'd do that, because I think that'd be great. Xbox backwards compatibility goes all the way back to the OG Xbox games and upscales them. They all run phenomenally. Perhaps it's because they're Microsoft and they have the upper hand in this category. Yeah, I think Microsoft has it utilizes fully the GPU power to tap into the games that came out before. So it can actually play games a lot better when it comes to backwards compatibility, look better without any updates needed at all, through software emulation. It's all of it's pretty much just software emulation, right? Just emulating the game. So it takes advantage of it that way. I did test Astral Chain, and no, Astral Chain does not run at 60 FPS on Switch 2. An easy way to know if the game is going to be able to run better or not is if the frame rate is capped. If it's locked or capped at 30, which Astral Chain is capped at 30, it's not going to be able to take advantage of the software emulation and the extra GPU power of the Nintendo Switch 2. So yeah. But yes, Age of Calamity does take advantage of that. Now, Astral Chain will run at a locked 30. There are some missions where Astral Chain does get framey below 30 FPS. That's all locked now. Most games that get framey are now locked at 30 as well, so that's a good thing. Justin with the dollar dono says, actually, do you remember that there is support for 4K that was found in Thousand Year Door code? I do remember that. But yeah, they have not done anything just yet. So I do remember there was some talk about that. So yeah, we'll see. Shout outs. Thank you so much, Justin, with another $1 dono. That gets you up to 10 on the board. Thank you so much, Justin. The workaround JoJo there. Appreciate that. 33 on the combo board. We are only 12 combos away from a 45-minute extension on today's stream. Let's go. Now I need you to make a I was wrong video. I know, seriously. That was the fastest I was wrong video ever. Shout outs to Jackson. He's here in the chat, and he says the one exception is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is 60 FPS on Switch 2 because it used double buffer on Switch 1. That's crazy. I thought it was uncapped on Switch 1. I thought that's the reason why that it ran at 60 FPS on Switch 2 was because it was just uncapped. I didn't know about any double buffer thing. So interesting for sure. Interesting. Man, this technology stuff is crazy, man. It really is. It really is crazy. It really is crazy. Good stuff overall, though, man. Good stuff, man. I appreciate it. Good stuff. Let's see here. XCOM 2 run amazing, but the bug after a few minutes it runs slower. Oh, that's a memory leak, Orlando. That happens with a number of games. That happens with a lot of different games where they get, not a lot of games, but some games if they're running slower. I know Borderlands had a memory leak issue. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had a memory leak issue. There's been a number of games here and there that will have, you know, issues at times with that. So yeah. Shout outs V taking off. Thanks for coming out. I'll tell you what. Shout outs to SK Massive. He's here in the chat. I know you've been here for a while, SK, but I just wanted to say what up. He says, I'll tell you what, I'm going back to any game I beat because the higher FPS, because it does still feel the same. But these, okay, you're not going back. Okay, you're not going back. I mean, yeah, I think that to a degree, I'll do that as well. Like, if I've already played and beat Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I don't have as much time to play games, so I don't know if I want to go back, even though it's significantly better. Now, if I had, you know, if I can have all day to play and I don't have to take care of anything else, yeah, I'd probably go back and play those games, especially Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my god, I'd go back and play Tears of the Kingdom because that game, especially the depths in some areas there, yeah, it can get framey at times. So I'd probably go back and do that, but I don't have as much time to play games. So I have to play the new stuff that's coming out. I have to play the new things that I haven't played yet. I don't really go back and play games too much, but it's nice to have, and I have done that a little bit. I went back and played more of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I went back and played a little bit of Echoes of Wisdom. I went back and played a little bit of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And I went back and played, and I'm like, man, this is so nice. I just don't have the time necessarily to play all this. Because, like, I was playing new stuff. I was playing, you know, Rune Factory, which that was a new game. I was playing Mario Kart World. That's a new game. I was playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's a new game. You know, so I kind of want to play the new stuff. Like, every month I have at least one game that I know I want to put a good amount of time into, you know? So yeah. OJ, what's your prediction for when Pikmin comes to Switch 2? My prediction? Like, when or what? It would be cool if they did another batch of Switch 1 upgrades. Luigi's Mansion 3 graphical upgrade would be awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll do another batch of upgrades maybe next year or something like that. I think that they're probably working on what they're going to do next. I think they're also trying to figure out what they're going to do for Switch 2 editions compared to, you know, just free updates. So I'm guessing that they're going to have another batch of free updates, or they'll do them individually because they've already done Splatoon. That was another one that came out that got a free, you know, 4K update that looks better now and all that. So they've done that, so I'm guessing that they'll do it individually, or they'll do it like, oh, maybe at the next Nintendo Direct, here's the next batch of free updates, you know. I envy those playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for the first time on Switch 2. What an experience. Yeah, like, that's probably a significantly better experience. Tears of the Kingdom in particular, much better experience, because, like, once again, in that game, it runs good enough for what they're trying to do. I mean, first of all, that game has crazy tech, so... Like, there's no other game on Switch 2, or sorry, Switch 1, that even comes close, in my opinion, to the advancement of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Those two games are just so, from a technological standpoint, so impressive. From how big they are, the draw distance, what they're able to do with that small chip is just nuts. But there is some, like, anytime you pull out Ultra Hand, there is some, like, frame rate dips in certain spots. Now you're doubling that, pretty much locked. Plus you're increasing, like, the loading times are so much faster. And it looks great too, you know. So yeah, it's a great experience for sure. Let's see. I hope there aren't too many Switch 2 editions. Move on to new games or free updates. There's definitely going to be a lot of Switch 2 editions. There's going to be a lot of Switch 2 editions, and the reason why there's going to be a lot of Switch 2 editions because a lot of times they want to, one, sell the same game over and over again, but also two, they want to actually expand it and add new content. So it's a way to do DLC for games that people really like. And then it's also another way to get another $70, $80 or whatever the case is, or another 20 bucks or whatever off of people. So there's going to be more. The best games are only going to get Switch 2 editions, though. You notice with Switch 2 editions, all we've seen are games that are like best in class, right? Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, or games, sorry, best in sales class, I should say. The highest earning games, the highest potential sales games are the games that we get for Switch 2 editions. For the most part. Kirby, Zelda, Mario Party, you know, when it comes to games that were already released, right? Not new games. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So it's going to be games that were like the better, higher performing games on Switch 1 are going to get those. Roger E with the $5 dono and says, good evening to everyone. Happy Thursday. Just got my OLED 32 monitor and my 32-inch LCD monitor set up, and now I'm testing them both next to each other. Shout outs to Roger, man. For some reason, I tried 32 inches on my desk setup monitor, and it's way too large. It makes it seem like I just have too much screen. So I really hope, Roger, that you can do 32 inches, but maybe you have a really big desk, right? So I really hope that's good for you. But for me, the 32-inch monitors are just way too screeny, too much screen space. So I went with the 24, or was it a 27? I think it was one. I think I went with the 24 or 20. I don't remember. I think it's 26. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I hope everything's good for you and you don't have to return those to get like a smaller monitor. But I also think it's based on how far away you are from the monitor, right? So if you're pretty a good distance away from it, your eyes to it, I think you'll be okay. Shout outs though, Roger. Thank you for the $5 dono. And like I said, I hope everything works out for you with those monitors, man. Seriously. And also thank you, Roger, with the 8 months of membership. I appreciate that. Let's go. Combo breaks. We are at 30 on the board. Guys, we are only 7 combos away from a 45-minute extension. Let's go. Thank you so much. And Montana. Wow, I didn't see that. Montana with another $5 dono. Let's go. This is, still stuck on Breath of the Wild Final Master Sword Trials. Have not played Tears of the Kingdom or beaten Breath of the Wild. I'm stubbornly bashing my head against the Master Sword shaped wall. Yeah, you know what, dude? That took me a while to do as well. It's not easy. You just gotta kind of have to use movement, move around that last area, and just use movement and be resourceful, and you can beat it. You know, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. All right, there we go. 43 on the board. Never mind. We are only 2 combos away from that 45-minute extension. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. Don't give up. I'm all for NS Switch 2 editions, especially since OJ said they're mainly going to be the classics. I don't think they're really inhibiting the release of new games. Yeah, I don't think so either. Or if anything, they might even be stimulating getting practice or being able to get experience developing on Switch 2, building something for Switch 2, and taking some of the ideas for the next game. So like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, right? Oh man, we got these cool ideas. Let's put it in there, and then the next game will probably have some cool ideas that they got from the development there. So I think it's also like some test runs for their developers to, you know, get something going on Switch 2 as well. And you don't have to buy them, right? Like you don't have to buy them. I do wish that they had them separately, where you can get the updates for like 10 if you don't want the extra content. So like, let's just say you want the 4K and all that. I do wish that Nintendo separated that with the Switch 2 editions, but you know, whatever. Let's see here. 32 is the sweet spot if you have a deep enough desk. Yes, I think for a deep enough desk is the sweet spot. My desk could have been a little bit more, but I measured it out based on my room. So this desk is good enough for me. So no, everybody want to switch Nintendo Switch 2 edition? Probably not. No, probably not. Devin X Machina got an update like a couple weeks ago. Did it help any? No, it did not. No. I think I may end up doing a funny video called Why Silk Song Makes Me Mad. That might be a good video to do. Just called like Silk Song Frustration. Pokemon Snap Switch 2 edition would go super hard. Does that game already run at 60 or not? Yeah, that'd be cool. Can you see I think you can see your comments? Yeah, I can see your comments, man. What's up, dude? Welcome. People are lying, talking bad about Switch 2. Listen, everyone's entitled to talk good or bad about Switch 2. But once again, if you see the lies, then they're lies. You don't got to worry about it. The sales numbers came out. Mr. Davis, you had my video. You saw my video today. The facts are the facts. So, but once again, if somebody doesn't like Switch 2, that's okay. They don't have to like it. They can play PlayStation. They can play Xbox. They can give their money to gaming. Like, there's many options out there. I just don't like lying. Like, don't lie when you're talking about, or don't twist numbers or manipulate things, because you're trying to milk the algorithm for money, which, once again, they're going to do it anyway, but I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that I'll speak up against. If people don't like it, that's fine. They don't have to like it. Like, okay, go play something else, you know? Like, nothing wrong with that. Let's see, the Mark Cerny Jack, I don't know how to say that, video exists in hopes that Sony and AMD slowing down Nintendo Switch 2 sales and consumer mindshare, Nintendo Switch 2 dominance benefits Nintendo and Nvidia. Yeah, definitely they, I think it was a strategic video. There's no point in talking about the PS, if you're still a few years off, why are you talking about the technological aspects of the PS6? Like, what are you discussing that? Like, what does that do? So if you're a PS5 Pro owner, and you just got a PS5 Pro, and you're like, man, I got this shiny new PS5 Pro for $800, and now they're saying, oh, PS6? What? Like, it's clearly it was done that to take away from the mindshare and to maybe get people to maybe, like, don't buy Switch 2. Hey, we got something coming, because Switch 2's launched and it's been successful. So absolutely, because you're a few years off. What are you talking about PS6 for? Why are you talking about Nvidia or AMD? And they're like, what are you talking about that for? And now, listen. It could be because Microsoft has already talked about their next generation system. So Sony is also saying, hey, we got to talk about ours. But if you're still a few years off, there is no need to mention your next generation system in a video. Like, that's insane, you know? Like, if you're, like, and to me, just on principle, okay, you're going to start, like, dude, I'm not going to buy it at launch if that's what you're going to do. Like, I just bought an $800 PS5 Pro. Like, what are you talking about? You know, what are you talking about? Well, I not just bought, but I mean, earlier this year, I think I bought it back in March. Has it already been that long? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's already been 7 months. But yeah, I just got one. Like, if you're just buying a PS5 Pro, like, talk about the PS5 Pro and what you're doing for that. Like, what are you talking about a few years off of a PS6 for? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with my PS5 Pro. I mean, the rumors, and this guy, we got rumors, and this guy's not, Moore's Law is dead. He's a bit of a fraud, but whatever. He's talking about how, oh, it's only going to be $500, and it's going to be, you know, and it's going to be 3 times more powerful than the PS5, the base PS5. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, 3 times more powerful than the base PS5? That is not that big of an upgrade. Like, don't get me wrong, like, in real world performance, maybe you'll see it, but like, how much better than that is a PS5 Pro? I'm not sure if I even need a PS6. Like, honestly, depending on what games come out for Switch 2, or depending on what's happening with Switch 2, I think this will be the first time actually not the first time in a long time. It'll be the first time since, well, I bought the PS5 at launch, but I don't know if I'm going to buy a PS6 at launch. Like, I mean, unless there's like some type of incredible, you know, massive first party game that I have to play, like, I don't know if I'm going to buy one at launch, because the PS5 Pro is really good and it's $800. I just spent $800 on a PS5 Pro, so yeah. So yeah, but it's all good though, man. It's all good. Yo, Rob, thank you for the tune-in tier pledge. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. Brand new tune-in tier, Elite Ninja. Yo, you guys got to get in on that tune-in tier. If you are not a tune-in yet, it's only $1. Gets you exclusive emotes, badges, our Discord. That's a lot of cool value packed into it. It's like Xbox OJ Game Pass, but significantly cheaper, you know? No, it's nowhere near as good as value as Xbox Game Pass. But listen, it's my stupid joke. So, !member, all lowercase, join up. It's only $1 to join. Thank you for your support, Rob. I appreciate that. Let's go. And somebody in the chat who's a member, make sure you guys put all the different emotes that you get. Hey, what's up, Pink? I just saw you here. What's up, Pink Cortina in the chat? Yo, what's good? Shout out to streamer chat. Let's go. Big love, Pink. Good to see you here. Simeon Quinn with the $5 dono. It says, evening, OJ, just getting it. I pre-ordered Pokemon ZA on the Switch 2, very hyped for it. My music request is Miramasa the Demon Blade. Ooh, Paranormal Phenomena. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. I like Miramasa the Demon Blade. That game needs to come to Switch 2. It needs to come to modern platforms. Miramasa Demon Blade. Paranormal thing. All right. Excuse me. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Simeon Coin. That gets us to 49 on the board. That is a combo breaker. And that is an overclock. Let's go.
Overclock Buster!
Stream clock extended for another 15 minutes. We are out here tonight, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We have only 11 more combos for that hour-long extension. And, of course, more than halfway to that platinum streak, 45 on the board. Let's go. There's no way PS6 will be worth it on launch. Switch 2 will be full swing by then. Yeah. There's going to be a brand new Zelda, brand new 3D Mario, brand new Animal Crossing. Woo, boy. That is going to be crazy. But, of course, I mean, the third parties are going to be all over. The third parties are going to be all over the PS6 probably. But I think a lot of it's just going to be cross-gen. Like, you're going to see a lot of games on PS5 Pro Enhanced, PS6. I'm good with the PS. To be honest, I wouldn't even have a PS5 Pro if my PS5 if the HDMI didn't break and I couldn't record my gameplay. It still worked, but I couldn't record my gameplay. For those who don't know the story, I was watching Cobra Kai in 2023 and I saw a kick that I've never done in my life before. I used to be into martial arts, so I like Cobra Kai. So in my room, I'm stupid, and I felt that I had enough room to do the kick because I'm not the tallest guy. I'm about 5'9". So I'm like, oh, I got enough room to do this kick. So I moved my chair out of the way, and I did this kick that I saw on Cobra Kai. Shout out to Simeon Coin. Thank you for the 5. I got to put you up on the board too, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy the music. And I did this kick that I saw on Cobra Kai, and apparently I did the kick too well. I think it was like a spinning back kick, and I literally spinning back kicked my PS5. And it flipped multiple times. I watched it, and it clanked off my my entertainment center and hit the wall. So HDMI, it has like a little metal railing around it, and that railing cracked. And that's kind of common with HDMI. Like if you bang a system or bang anything that has a TV, you can crack the HDMI metal railing, and it won't actually plug in and fit flush and stick. It'll you can plug it in, but it'll easily be able to fall out. And that's what happened with not only my sound system that I have, but that also happened with my PS5. So for some reason, my HDMI just crapped out, and I could not my capture card did not work with it. So that's the only reason why I got a PS5 Pro. Outside of that, I'd probably still have my base PS5 and be completely fine with that, Can you find the kick in a video? No, it was completely offline. I was just watching Cobra Kai, enjoying my day, watching Cobra Kai in 2023 at my mom's house, and yeah, I just kicked my PS5 on accident. It was a spinning back kick though. It was like the one where you put your knee up and then you flip and I kicked the hell out of my PS5, dude. But I just hit the it's gonna sound weird. But I just hit the top of the corner. I'm going to say it that way. I hit the top of the corner of my PS5. And it went flying. It went spinning like a Jackie Chan movie or like Rumble in the Bronx. Like when you kick somebody and they spin in the air. It went spinning like that. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that big old behemoth can spin like that. So yeah. So that's what happened. So it broke the HDMI on there. About to say something that could have easily got clipped. Gotta be careful. Let's see here. Gave it the Tatsu. Yeah, gave it the Tatsu. Maki Senpu. Yeah, I gave it one of those. Gave it one of the hurricane kicks. So I was just testing it out. That was a bad idea. But the thing that I've noticed that anytime that I try to do kicks, it's always ends up being a bad idea for me. I pulled my hamstring back in 2021 or 2022 doing a kick in my backyard. I'm from Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai has led to disaster for me personally. There's been 3 separate times I've done Cobra Kai stuff, and I've either hurt myself or hurt something else around me, when it comes to my equipment or something. And I just put this together. There's been 3 separate times that Cobra Kai has caused problems in my life. So I'm really happy that it's over. Not because the show's bad, the show's freaking goated, but because I'm not doing any stupid things anymore. Cobra Kai has caused many issues. It has caused many issues in my life. Because I see something cool. I think it's cool. I realize that I'm not 20 years old like they are, and I cannot do what they do anymore. And I decide I can still do it. Yeah. That's it, OJ. Yeah, no, Cobra Kai's done. I finished it. I finished the whole series, and I'm not rewatching it. So let's see here. Is it the kick where they were trying to see who can kick higher? I think it wasn't that one. No, it was the kick. I think when Miguel in the first All Valley tournament. It was either the first or the second one. I forgot the kick that Miguel did. He did the spinning crane, where it totally looked like he was like he was on like one of those like hanging suspension things. It was that kick. Like that, and like where he almost like hurt his back, or like we thought that he re-hurt his back again. It was that kick that I was trying to do. I think it was that one. It might have been a different one. But yeah, shout outs to Miguel, dude. He's the homie. Well, he's not actually my homie, but if I knew him, we'd be homies. He's my favorite. Miguel, yeah, he's probably my favorite. I like Miguel. There's other cool people too, though. I like Hawk. Hawk is cool too. Let's see here. OJ, do you have a favorite magic type in Trails in the Sky? Well, I'm about 19 hours, only in like the first or second chapter. Favorite magic type? I kind of like the water, how that looks, because it kind of like bounces and like hits people, so that's cool. Shout out to Justin. Thank you for the $1 dono, though, man. Appreciate that. Justin, you have extended your Hokage lead to $11. Anybody does 11 or more, you can beat them out on the board. Let's go, my man Justin. And we are at 50, only 10 combos away from the 1 hour Noah and Mio flying through the skies. Let's go. Shout outs. Let's get it. Thank you guys so much for your support. Dude, I can't film that. I was just in my room randomly. I think my son was asleep, or was my son even born at that time? No, my son was not born at that time. Well, well, maybe he was asleep in my wife's belly. I'm not sure. My son was in the wife's belly at that time, because I think it wasn't the fall. It was like June or July of 2023, or maybe like August. Yeah, it was close, but it wasn't quite there. So yeah, just wait till the Miyagi-Do prequel series. There'll be a whole new chance to break stuff. Oh my god, no. Please no. Don't. I don't need any of that, man. I don't need any of that. But yeah, going back to like 2021 or something like that. I think it was during COVID, 2021 or 2022. Or not during COVID, but I was running in my backyard. And after I was done running, I was like, all right, let me just do some punches and kicks. And I just started doing some kicks, started doing some punches, started doing some jump kicks, started doing some spinning back kicks, started doing some, front kicks. And then all of a sudden, I just pulled my hamstring. I think I didn't stretch properly. I probably should have stretched a little bit better, but I just pulled my hamstring doing some kicks, and I'm like, oh gosh. So I had a pulled hamstring, so I couldn't run for like a week or so. Pulled hammies are really, they make your leg feel awkward. They make it feel like somebody took your hamstring and like said like woo and like stretched it and like snapped like your hamstring, right? And then it feels like somebody is just kind of like, I don't know, like rubbing something on. Like, I don't know if you've ever had a pulled hamstring, you know that feeling. Like if you ever had like a pretty bad pulled hamstring, it just feels off. It just feels bad. It feels tender. Like somebody, like you can't do anything really. You can't run. You can't really walk properly. You can't jump. You can't do anything, you can't do anything like effectively at least. So yeah. So I had to calm down on the random Cobra Kai stuff. So yeah. This game video a couple months ago talked about Lollipop Zombies Switch 2. Yeah, I made a video on that too. It's coming out later this year, I think. So it'll come out later, Mr. Davis, that game. Lollipop Chainsaw, like the Switch 2 edition. Eagles and Giants starts not. I'll watch it once it's at halftime. I don't need to watch the Giants on TV. That's not anything worth paying attention to. Let's see here. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. The things I teach you. Share the beach. Oh yeah, dude, I loved Parappa. Back in the day, Parappa was like one of the coolest video game characters. I used to play the demo disc, and I could never beat that level back in the day, even though it was actually not hard, but I could never actually beat that level because I never played PlayStation a ton. But whenever I got a chance to play it, I'd be like, yeah, kick, punch, it's all in the mind. Yeah, that was so great, man. I love that because obviously I like rap, and I liked, the cool graphics. I liked like the cell shaded or whatever those graphics were that they used for Parappa, how it looked. I thought it just looked super cool. Yeah, that's a franchise that needs to come back. I would love to see that come back. So yeah, if you haven't played Pokemon since the GBA days, you think ZA would be a great place to return? Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's not a turn-based RPG. It's an action RPG. So it's a very different style of game than what you played back in the GBA days, Hey, what's up, Bead Queen? Welcome to the stream, young lady. How you doing today? Shout outs to Bead Queen. You guys quoting the Parappa quotes. Let's go. Big love to Bead Queen in the chat. Big love. Akai, what's up, man? Welcome. Let's see. You can do it, but if you have to do your proper daily stretches, yeah, exactly. You got to do your proper stretching. So that's something that I realized. So yes, I've done kicks and punches that were all in my mind since then. Okay, I've done them, but I've stretched properly since that. So I haven't had any issues. I haven't pulled my hamstring since then. But man, I've pulled my hamstring in the most inopportune times. Like, I literally ended my football career on a pulled hamstring when I went to go try out for like the Mountain Lions in Sacramento. Like, I pulled my hamstring like a couple days before, and I could not run the 40, which sucked. So yeah. Let's see here. Just ask Sony to stop remastering The Last of Us. Parappa may return. I know, seriously. That just if we just stop getting Parappa, or sorry, if we just stop getting Last of Us remasters, maybe they'll say, all right, unleash the Parappa. Unleash the Parappa. Oh, man. That's great, dude. That's great. Shout-outs. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I appreciate you. 10 combos away from, once again, from that hour-long extension. Let's go. If you guys have more questions, you can tag me at PlayerSense, hashtag PlayerSense by itself. More than happy to answer all of your questions as well. I think we should get into that, yeah, because I think we're already an hour plus in at this point. So I think we should probably get into the Q&A section, just so we have plenty of time. Also, comment, yeah, because we're about, yeah, if we hit our goal, we'll be about an hour, another hour 30. All right, let's go. If you have those questions, tag me at PlayerSense, hashtag PlayerSense by itself. More than happy to answer those questions. And of course, if you have topics, if you have comments, if you have suggestions for videos, all that stuff, feedback. You guys are some, like I said, the most loyal fans out here. You guys are always watching the vids and stuff. So thank you guys so much. So I take the feedback seriously here. So feel free to drop it in the chat. Hey, what's up, Moses? Welcome, man. Artisan, what's up, Artisan? All spinoffs or B tier, fine, just release Irresistible. Wait, what are you talking about, Artisan? Beef cream. It's Bead Queen, Mr. Davis. What's good, OJ? Thanks for all that you do. Thank you for coming out to the stream, man. Appreciate you. Mario Tennis Fever, Pocopia, Splatoon Raiders, Yoshi, and the Mysterious Book in Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, that's and Fire Emblem. That's, you talk about next year's lineup. Yeah, that's a pretty. The first half of next year is already kind of stacked. Yeah, Mario Tennis Fever, Pokemon Pocopia, Splatoon Raiders, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition, and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, in addition to Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life. Those are all, that's 8 games that we know about for 2026. That's wild. That's 8 games for 2026 that are coming out, first party games. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Let's see here. He says the lineup is lackluster. Well, the lineup isn't finished yet. I can understand why some people might think, oh, it's kind of lackluster or there's not enough games, but we're not in 2026 yet. So yeah. Once we get into 2026, we'll get more games announced. I mean, I'm not sure if you're familiar with how Nintendo announces games, but they have these things called Nintendo Directs. And whenever they have Nintendo Directs, they announce new games for that year. So you'll be like, oh, we get a Nintendo Direct in March or whatever. And then there'll be new games that are coming out that summer and that fall. And then we get like another Nintendo Direct usually in the summer. And there'll be more games that are announced for the fall period. And then we get like another Nintendo Direct in like the fall. And then there's new games that are announced for even sometimes that year and then next year. So that's kind of how it works, the Artisan. They don't announce all their games for next year this year. Once we get to next year, they'll announce that. But they already have 8 games before we even got to next year. Now, what's the lineup for the other companies out there? What are the big games? What are the awesome lineup of games for next year that we already know? I mean, really, there's not much, right? So yeah, but that's usually how it works, Artisan, is that we get to the year, Nintendo has the Directs, and then they announce new games. You know, they don't announce games 3 years, 4 years for the whole lineups, you know, a year ahead of time. Then they wouldn't have anything new to announce at the Nintendo Directs. So yeah. Let's see here. Do you agree with the sentiment? Metroid Dread would have sold more if it was on PC. Context Zoo mentioned the micro factors scenario that may have hated Metroid sales in the past. I mean, yeah, any game, like a Metroidvania game, that probably would sell more. Any game would sell more if it's on multiple platforms. So I think if you put a game on multiple platforms, it's going to sell more. So, but Nintendo's not worried about the game selling more. Nintendo's worried about selling their own hardware. So they don't care. Metroid is subsidized by Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. Metroid doesn't have to sell 10 million copies. They don't have to. Nintendo already has all these other games that sell way past what they cost to make. So they can make games like Metroid and not worry about it too much. They can make games, you know, like Pikmin and not worry too much about that. Miyamoto even said this himself. So Nintendo's not worried about Metroid selling 10 billion copies. If it sells great, great, but they're not too worried about it selling that. They just make it because it's a highly rated franchise, the fans like it a lot, and they know that it's going to bring a little bit of a different type of game to their lineup of games. You know, it's Samus is an iconic heroine, you know, so they make it because of that. They don't make it because they're trying to make as much money as possible. They make it because it's, like I said, all the reasons that I listed. So yeah, this is the same cycle. This is the same cycle that Switch 1 era went through. The people say the next year is already lackluster before we even get the first direct. The fact that people are even talking about 2026 before we've even gotten the rest of the games for 2025 is just silly. I think we need to, artists and people, you guys need to calm down, relax. You know what I'm saying? Relax and play the games that are coming out this year. We've got a bunch of first party games this year. So then once we get to next year, then we can talk about next year even more just a bit. Now, of course, we can talk about games here and there, but already proclaiming lackluster in 2025 before all of the games that are even, like, we're jumping the gun a little bit here. We're jumping the gun. So let's wait till next year. Let's wait till that first Nintendo Direct, and then you can make your saying, oh, this is terrible, this is good, this is bad. Let's wait to that. So, I mean, I think sometimes people forget how Nintendo announces games, you know. I think they forget. I think people forget. Let's see here. Hey, OJ, have you ever played any of the more obscure video game systems, something not made by Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or Sega? I'm pretty sure I have, like Atari or like a ColecoVision and stuff like that, like 3DO. Yeah, I've played like weird systems before. Let's say too much impatience in this space. Show your tags if you got all if you got all the bark. I'm telling you, man. I don't see Fire Emblem as a B tier, but major IP for Nintendo, even though it's not a huge system seller, and that's fine, Artisan. But what I'm telling you is that you're judging things too early. We're in the end of this year. That's not, Nintendo does not announce all of their big games for the following year in the current year. They announce a lot of their big games that year. So, for example, Super Mario Bros. Wonder in 2023, we didn't know about that game until 2023. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I think even like maybe Pikmin, I'm not exactly sure, or even Xenoblade Chronicles, Splatoon, a lot of these games are announced and released in the same year, big games. So what I'm saying is that you're overshooting. You're overshooting at this point, complaining about lackluster year and their B tier games or their off-brand games. Wait till next year. There's going to be big games that are announced and released in the same year. So you're jumping the gun before we've even gotten all the big games for this year. And this is a common thing that a lot of people did in the Switch 1 era and then end up saying, oh, well, I didn't know. And then end up looking silly later when they announce all this and say, well, I didn't know. Well, I'm telling you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how Nintendo's always done it throughout the Switch 1 era. This is all they always did this. They don't always announce every single game that's going to come out for the next year in the current year. So I think because they've announced so many games that are coming out next year, maybe you think that they do that, but go back and look at the history, right? Go back and look at, like I said, Xenoblade 3, Splatoon. There's a number of games. Splatoon 3. There's a number of games. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Super Mario RPG. I mean, like, there's a lot of games that were announced and released in the same year, you know? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was announced in March at a Direct and released in December. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was announced in January and released in December. Super Mario Odyssey was announced in January and released in October. Fire Emblem Warriors was announced in that, like, the list goes on, right? Like, the list goes on and on of games that were announced and released in the same year. Now, Microsoft and Sony don't do that, really, because they'll say, we've got Wolverine, and then 5 years later, you're going to get Wolverine. Or, we've got, you know, whatever game, God of War Ragnarok, and then 2-3 years later, you get the game, right? That's how they do it, but that's not necessarily how Nintendo does it for their biggest games. Now, are there times that Nintendo announces a game a year or 2 years ahead of time? Sure, they've done it before. They announced, what was it? They announced Metroid Prime 4 too early. Obviously, that got scrapped. It wasn't going well, so they had to delay that game. But most of the time, they'll announce a game within the time frame of it coming out. It won't be like years before you get the game. Even like Animal Crossing, that game was announced. I think that game got delayed out of its. It was supposed to come out in 2019, then it got delayed to 2020. But it wasn't like they announced Animal Crossing and then it was 3 years later we got the game, right? Like that's not how they do it. You know, Paper Mario Color Splash, or no, Paper Mario, the Origami King, right? That game was announced and released in the same year, like 2020. So, yeah. So yeah. Maybe Zelda is the only one they announced early. Yeah, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, they announced that early. They announced that really early. They announced that one early. They announced that in 2019, and we got that in 2023. So that was 4 years later that we got that game. So yeah, but they delayed it 1 year, or they delayed it to the following year. So it was supposed to come out in 2022. I'm surprised Sony owning Crunchyroll is why they don't tie the PS Plus. Why would they do that? Make less money? Why would they tie it into PS Plus so you have to pay, so they get less money? If you already pay a PS Plus, if you're Sony and people are already paying for an anime subscription and people are already paying for PS Plus, why would you say, nah, you don't gotta pay for that. You could just tie it into PS Plus and get all the anime. Hell, they're not gonna do that. Whoever makes that decision would get fired as the CEO. Fired! Now, would I like that? Absolutely, I would love that. As a consumer, would you love that? Yes, I would love that as a consumer. But I'm telling you right now, if somebody made that decision, they would be fired. Fired, I tell you. Because that's giving up a lot of money right there. Shout outs to Justin with the $1 dono. And says, also, we don't even know much about Wonder Switch 2, Yoshi, or barely anything about Splatoon Raiders. Yeah, we don't know much about those. But yeah, I don't know. Artisan's saying, I don't know. He's just saying like, he for some reason, he's gauging next year before we've even gotten this year. Let's just finish this year first. Then we can start talking about next year. I mean, like I said, next year is great. There's a lot of cool games coming, but notice how a lot of the emphasis, whenever I talk about my videos, at least, it's a lot on this year because we still have a bunch of, we have 4 first-party games still set for this year. We still got Pokemon Legends. We still got Hyrule Warriors. Like, we got games set for this year. We can talk about next year once next year rolls around. Like, let's talk about this year. But like I said, I think some people are perpetually just looking forward to games and not really playing too much. I think that's really what's going on with a lot of people. Let's see here. Been lurking, just got done washing dishes. Shout out St. Lou. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Shout outs, man. Thank you for coming out to the stream. It's wild though, OJ. Got to keep telling people how Nintendo operates with game releases when we lived it all through the Switch era. I think people legitimately forget because people have their lives, right? People are doing other things, and people legitimately forget how Nintendo operates because their brain has been programmed for Microsoft and Sony. Like, you'd be surprised how many people are brainwashed by the ass tendencies, excuse my French, by the booty tendencies of Microsoft and Sony and PlayStation in gaming. You would be, like I said, Nintendo's not perfect. They should definitely adopt some things. There's some stuff that I'd like for them to do better too, which people have said, and I agree with those. But you'd be surprised how many people are brainwashed by sitting there and saying, I'm gonna wait 10 years for a game. happy, joy. Like, straight up, like sitting there, wait 15 years for, announce them. I don't care. They did this in the PS4 era. We're sitting here waiting years for Horizon, years for God of War 2018. They'll sit there and show them every single year at E3 and people be like, great. And, like, you'll be surprised at how many people don't have a problem with that while they play nothing in the meantime. While there's droughts left and right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be legitimately shocked. And people will just forget about games that are actually announced and released in a timely fashion. You know? And no, announce everything. I'll wait. Don't even know if you're going to be alive in 6-7 years. You got to, I mean, knock on wood, everybody going to be alive then. But I mean, like, goodness gracious. But you'll be surprised how many people think that's okay. And then get upset when they don't know everything Nintendo's doing for the next 2-3 years or something like that, right? Like, they'll be like, oh, their lineup for 2028 isn't looking too good. Like 2 years ahead of time or something like that. I'm like, where's all this coming from? You guys understand there's Nintendo Directs, right? Yeah, well, you never know. It's like, what? No, you know they're going to do them. No. People online are funny. I can say that right now. Let's see. Seeing that Star Wars Outlaws has ray tracing on Switch 2 would be interesting if Indiana Jones could have ray tracing. The power of Switch 2 continues to amaze me. Yeah, we'll see about that. Let's see. Is there any credible leaks with Zelda, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess coming to Switch? Yes, there are credible leaks in terms of that, but once again, it's all the same stuff that we've already went through, Skozak. Let's see. Yeah, Nintendo has a horrible 2030 because we don't know what's coming out. I mean, listen, we got 2 games that we know for sure PlayStation 5 for next year. We got Soros and we've got Wolverine, and people like the goated lineup. Goated lineup all year. What, like massive droughts in between, but that's okay. Once again, people are used to the nonsense. You know, and the funny thing is that people excused it. Not everyone, but people just sat by. Some people just sat by. It was only the hardest core of Xbox haters, hardcore Sony fans that would talk about this or bring this up about Xbox's lineup of games. But even Xbox fans did this, but a lot of the overall gamers would sit there and be so angry about this, that, and that not being announced or whatever the case is, they didn't even notice what was going on when it comes to Game Pass. Or they'd be enamored by Game Pass. Or they did not look and see the economics around it. Myself, me being an economics guy, I looked at Game Pass and I looked at some of the stuff that was happening, and I look at the length of development time. Bro, we're cooked at this point. The length of the development time for games is too long. We're waiting all gen for games. We're waiting all gen for games. Everyone's just trying to do live service nonsense. They're turning, look at Sony, what they did with, I mean, I'm hoping they're going to change it, right, with the PS6. But like, look at how long we're waiting for games. Look at how many live service nonsense we've been getting. Like, people are oblivious to this because it's Microsoft and Sony, you know? But it's something that we've seen a lot throughout this whole generation. Like I said, the output has been pretty poor overall. Games take way too long to make. I don't have a problem having smaller games in between to fill the gaps, like a Super Mario RPG remake, like a like a Yoshi. You know, that's not gonna be like the biggest AAA game. Like a Mario Tennis. Like, I don't mind having those in between to fill the gaps, like of the biggest games that are coming out. You know, because games just take way too long to make now in today's day. So. Path tracing is the new selling feature for the PS6. Listen, they're going to have to do a lot to get me to buy a PS6 at launch. It's going to have to be subsidized quite a bit to where if for some reason Sony decides to sell it for way less, or it's going to have just an incredible launch lineup of games. Because I got a PS5 and a PS5 Pro, and I've got path tracing, ray tracing, May tracing, you know what I'm saying? Tracing, dick tracing, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dick Tracy, I've got all sorts of tracing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got all sorts of stuff. So it's one of those things, man, where it's like, I don't care. You know, I don't care. Let's see here. Spin-offs are fine, but I don't price them at 60 to 70. Mario Tennis should be 50 max. Yeah, I agree. I think that it should be lower when it comes to like Mario Tennis and games like that. But I mean, if you don't think it's worth it, then, you know, don't buy it, obviously. Don't buy it if you don't think it's worth the. But yeah, 70 for like a Mario Tennis game, I think that's a bit too much myself. Am I gonna get it? Yeah, I'll get it. But yeah, I think I agree with that. I agree with that one. But at least I'd rather have it than not have it at all. Like, I'd rather have it. Okay, it's too much. I can wait. You can wait and get Mario Tennis. Like, even if you didn't want Mario Tennis at 60, you could have waited and got it for cheaper. So you can always wait and get it later. So I'd rather have them come out and then wait for discounts if it's too much than not have them at all, you know? 4 months of insane lineup: Mario Kart, DK Bonanza, Kirby, Air Riders, Yoshi Mysterious Book, Mario Tennis Fever, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem, Hyrule Warriors, Pokemon Legends Z8, Pokopia, Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, pretty good. I don't know if we have release dates for the Splatoon Raiders game, but yeah, outside of that, I'm like, it's a pretty good next number of months. Let's see here. Mario Tennis looks like they're going a AAA with it, so I don't know if they can sell it lower. They could have. I mean, they can sell the game for $60 and probably make a lot of money. I mean, AAA with it. Yes, it's got, you know, a single player mode. Yes, the graphics look good. Yes, the models look great, the cutscenes. But let's see how much content it has once it comes out. Like I said, I wish it would have like 60 for that type of game, but like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, Giants are messing up the Eagles. It's the beginning of the game, so, and it's a division game, but Giants can still fumble the game, so yeah, I wait till the game's over, and then you can talk about whether they're doing this or they're doing that or what kind of like what's going on there, you know, or not. So yeah. Giants are cooking the Eagles 13 to yeah. That's as somebody who played football, 3 to 13 is not a big lead. It's a 2-score lead. Like it's you get a field goal, you're already in 1 score. You get a touchdown, you're only down by 3. So that's not really a big lead or really anything crazy right now. A 2-score lead is nothing big. So if they kick a field goal once again, you're already in striking distance. You get a touchdown, it's 10 to 3. So it's not cooking them just yet. The funniest thing is that when I was into PC, I looked up settings. The first thing I always say is turn off ray tracing. Yeah, ray tracing is a pretty costly resource when it comes down to it. So yeah. I don't agree with the pricing of some of these games, but I'm confident I'll get my value in games like Mario Kart World, Mario Tennis Fever. But what do I know? I'm a Mario guy. I mean, well, that's the thing. It's going to be subjective, right, for everybody. So if you play Mario Tennis Fever for 100 hours, or if you play it constantly, if you think the game is incredible, then you got your $70 worth. Now, if you're somebody that's not as big of a Mario Tennis guy and it's not worth it to you, then yeah, then obviously you don't need to get it. Nintendo will discount Mario Tennis. They usually do like the summer sales and stuff like that. So at some point there'll be discounts. So if it's not an important game for you to play right away, then you don't have to buy it right away. I mean, if $10 is the difference between you getting it or not, you know, then it's probably not even worth playing in the beginning for you at launch. You don't have to get it, you know, so you can just skip it. You can put that 10 towards something else, or you can just play whatever else, you know, or you can play Mario Tennis Aces. You can play the original game. So yeah, you don't have to get it, you know. A lot of games are performing better with without ray tracing. Yeah. Personally, I never look at the type of game and say that should only cost X. As long as the entertainment and production value is there, it's worth it. I judge each game on case-by-case basis. Yeah, and I think that since it's a spin-off, people already put it into that category. I've played the Mario game, like the Mario sports games, and I kind of put it into that category. They've always been full price, though. Mario Tennis Aces was $60 at launch, so, I mean, technically maybe that should have been like 50, right, if you think that it should be, but I guess the jump up to 70 is a little bit tougher when it comes down to that, so yeah. Mario Tennis Fever looks good, and better yet, complete. I did not like the use of sports titles, test the free updates over time model. You know what, Zoo? I'm gonna like that comment, but I'm not gonna agree with it right away. Not on the in terms of free updates over time model, but with the comment at the beginning. Mario Tennis Fever looks complete. Better does it? Because we've said this before, I hope that you're right, Zoo, but I'm not there just yet because I've heard this before. Oh, it looks complete. And then people get the game, and then it's not. Oh my god, they didn't include Baby Mario, Peach, Rosalina times 10 or something. I don't know, right? So I'm going to wait on that, but I'm hoping, yes, it does. It has a single-player campaign. It has, it has a lot of rackets. It has a lot of characters, so that's good. That's good. I think that the complaining, Nintendo took that to heart. I think that they did. So I'm hoping that is the case. I am hoping, Zoo. Thank you for the $5 dono. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Zoo After Dark Combo Breakers. We are 4 combos away from the what's it called? From the hour-long extension, if I can speak. I'm trying to link Zoo's channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Zoo. Zoo After Dark reviews games, talks about it, in-depth stuff, great stuff too. Shout out to Zoo. Appreciate you, man. I'm hoping they're giving single player and lots of rackets, and I agree, but Mario Golf also had single player, and I think that they had a pretty good roster for Mario Golf, right? Mario Golf on the Switch one. So I'm just hoping that that's the case. I'm there with you, but I'm going to reserve judgment until we have the people that say like it's like an incomplete burger until they get their take on it, you know, because man, I got cooked for the last one. So I got cooked on that one. Yoshi's Woolly World of Craft the World actually looked more impressive visually than Mysterious Book in the snippet of footage so far. I disagree. I disagree. That is an art style thing. So if you like wool and fur and yarn and all that crap, then you might think it looks good. If you like Yoshi how it was on the Super Nintendo era and that type of look, the Yoshi in the Mysterious Book game looks way better. Now, I'm not as big of a fan of yarn and wool and fur and furries and woolies, and I don't like that look, and I've been like that for a while. I don't like Kirby's Epic Yarn. I don't like the look of, I don't like yarn and knitting and all this crap. I do like the pastel, kind of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure-ish, thick lines, black outlines. I like that art style way better. So if you're going to tell me what looks better between woolly and yarns and all of that, Yoshi's not a yarn. What the hell? When did Yoshi become yarn? I don't like that crap. I disagree wholeheartedly with that statement that woolly world and yarn worlds are better than what they're doing with this new game. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I vehemently disagree with that statement. It does not look better at all. This one looks way better, and I like the style. It's like a painting. It's like a, like I said, hand-drawn, weird type of art style. Like I said, it reminds me more of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. That art style cooks Yoshi woolies and yarnies and epic yarnies and woolies and wobbies and, you know, fluffies. Completely cooks it. Please never go back to that crap. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. So Princess Peach Showtime is something so far. That's a very interesting game. Yes. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate you, Zoo. Got us to that Noah and Mio flying through the skies. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the yarn look, guys. I'm sorry. You know what I am a fan of, though? I'm a fan of Noah and Mio. Let's go. Big love. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. Big love. Yeah, if you're a Boy Scout and you like cutting paper and you like knitting and you like sweaters and, you know what I'm saying, soft knitting and hand knitting and all that, yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World and Yarn Fabric World and Epic Yarn and Crafted Boy Scouts and Crafted Boy Scout World is probably great for you. If you're like me and actually like animation styles and how Yoshi looked beforehand, like with Yoshi's Story and Super Mario World 2, then this new game, it's a welcomed change. But no, I don't like Boy Scout Yoshi. I don't like arts and craft schools, 5th grade arts and craft Yoshi. No, I'm not a fan. To me, that's not what Yoshi, even though the gameplay's like Yoshi, I'm not a fan of that at all. Nope. If you want my honest opinion, that's my honest opinion. I was down with Woolly and Yarn gameplay mechanics were mad creative, and that's fine. But the art, we're talking about the art style. We're talking about the art style. You could have done, the art style to me is not, I don't like the yarn and all that. I'm not a fan. I like this new art style way more because it reminds me of the old school art style. Now, am I upset that they did it that way? Nah. Like, they tried something new. It's something kind of creative. It is innovative in the sense, and that's great. You know, but it's, you know, like I said, it's just not for me. He said it looked better, so I disagree. Not that it has a better art style. He said art style. No. Art style, I'll take this one, the new one, over it. Because like Yoshi actually looks like not made of yarn. I don't want to play as Yoshi made as yarn. I don't want to play as Kirby made as yarn. I really don't. But I'm glad that they did them. They got that out of their system. So that's great. Now we can get back to actually playing as Kirby, as real Kirby, which we've had that for a while now, and playing as Yoshi as actually Yoshi, you know? So. But no, I feel you though. If you like it, I don't have a problem with that either. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem like with you. I mean, if people like it, they like it. People like combo breaks too. Shout outs. 61 on the board. We are only 39 combos away from a platinum streak. 45. Let's go. The thing is that the reason why they're able to turn things is crazy yarn and wool, the art style. But no, I agree. I like the pastel animation looks. Yeah, like I said, I agree. Like with some of the innovation that they did, that's fine. If you're asking me what I like better, I'll tell you what I like better. It's okay, OJ. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if they're wrong. No wrong opinions. If you like one art style more, you like that art style more. You know. Reserves judgment because people said all kinds of stuff. Soulless, no Diddy Kong, lack of content, bad story mode, unique state, no unique state. That's what I'm saying. I'm reserving judgment too, when it comes to. I will reserve judgment. You know, until we actually get Mario Tennis Fever. But I mean, listen, it's looking good so far, you know. It's looking good so far. It's looking like it's solid so far. So yeah. Kind of burnt down with the arts and craft styles like the New Super Mario Bros. Look. Well, New Super Mario Bros. Did not have an arts and craft style, but I see what you're saying. Like I was tired of the New Super Mario Bros. Look. Like after they kind of played that one out, like from 2006 to 2018, that's all we got was the new for 2D Mario games. New Super Mario Bros. DS, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. 2, New Super Mario Bros. U, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So it was like we got 5 New Super Mario Bros. Games in the span of 10 years. 10 years. 5 of them in 10 years. If you count the re-release, and then Super Luigi U, you can count that as a separate game if you want. They did do Mario Maker in between that as well, so that was also, but that was just taking the styles of all the previous games and making, you know, you can make whatever you want from that, right? So there was that. So we hadn't had a new actual Mario art style in a hot minute. So Super Mario Bros. Wonder was like a breath of fresh air, man. It was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a real evolution. It looks like that, the art, the animations, the facial expressions, everything just looked and animated so good. There was a freaking elephant. So it was nice. It was nice to get that after so long, you know? So yeah. I put around 800 hours into Mario Tennis Aces, so I'm chilling as I'm gonna sink a ton of time into Fever. Yeah, maybe one of these days, Partyman, I'll be able to even like get a game off you. You were so good, nobody could beat you in the game. So I'm hoping that we actually get something here. You know, I'm hoping that we get something. Oh man, I'm hoping we get something. You was a great game, just needed a better art and musical direction. I mean, no, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a good game. It's got you know, it's got the Luigi U content in there. It's got like challenge levels in there. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's good. It's not bad. I like it. I don't dislike it at all. I don't dislike it. I think it's good. I played it at launch. I beat the game on the Wii U at launch, and I thought I had fun. I need y'all to actually play Mario Tennis. That's true. We didn't play it for that long. Yeah, because like getting smacked around by a party man was, I guess, not fun enough. But yeah, like, yeah, I need to actually play it more. I need to actually play it more. So yeah. It just needs the added pop of some actual effort, aesthetics, and pearls. Yeah. Like I said, it was a good game though, and it sold really well. Like New Super Mario Bros. U sold super good. Justin with the dollar dono DK. I can't believe a new Pokemon game comes out next week, and next month comes my most anticipated game. I know, dude. Not only does a new Pokemon, not only are you voting. Not only going to the Lighthouse, Tom Argan. We're gonna go to Alabama. We're gonna go to Michigan. We're gonna go to Detroit. We're gonna go to Pokemon Legends CA. We're gonna go to Kirby Air Riders. We're gonna go to Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. We're gonna go to Metroid Prime 4. We're gonna go to Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Yeah! We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go there. We're gonna leave me Yo, I haven't made that joke in a hot minute, bro. It's been a while. We're gonna take back Miyamoto's house. Ah! I'm gonna bust into Nintendine's house. I'm gonna chop his desk and that's gonna be like, ah! Oh man, I'm just joking, man. I ain't gonna, but I'm not gonna chop Nintendine's desk in half. Let's see here. Oh man, OJ. Nintendo is draining my wallet. How many of these games are coming out before the end of the year? Too many. Yeah, there's a lot, Buster 5. There's a lot, man. Good old Howard Dean Scream, classic. But I mean, I'm parroting the Howard Dean Scream plus Dave Chappelle show when he parodied that, and which was hilarious. That was that should have been. He should have won. I would have voted for him. He should have won. Imagine if we have somebody that goes, yeah, that excited, bro. Like that. No, he should have won, bro. He should have won. I was just thinking about you making that joke. We used to make that joke all the time. That used to be like at least a daily. I don't think I've made that joke in a while. I think it's been like since like last year or like a year before since we've done like the whole Bia thing. Because I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it at all, you know. So yeah. Dude, I went out Nintendo and Nintendo Byte dude, I went off on Nintendo on Nintendo Byte podcast last night. So much trash about the Circana data. Yeah. He's a, like I said, I think it's a grift. It's a Nintendo grift to make money at this point. It's a scheme. But I mean, listen, YouTube allows it, and that's what AI tells you to make. AI tells you to make negative videos, so I don't hate him. But like I said, I wonder how long this is going to keep up. Like, I wonder how long this is going to keep up as we get more sales, as more people are starting to buy. Obviously, Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be a big game. That's going to be a big holiday game. Sales are already starting to spike up. You're seeing more people on Twitter buy Switch 2. You're seeing random people that are Xbox PlayStation guys that are buying Switch 2. Pretty much all the hardcore Xbox PlayStation guys that I know are getting one, are going to get one. So you're starting to see people, it's going to be their secondary system or their main system. People are starting to fold and cave to it. So I'm wondering how long this is going to be able to keep up. I wonder how long. I wonder how many goalposts are going to be moved before it just says, okay, yeah, it's doing all right. You know, the system's doing all right. It's going to be okay. So yeah. One search on Howard D. Also, the Scream ruined his yes, guys, I know the Scream ruined his campaign. Yes, we know that, but it's funny. We're just making fun of that. And yes, it ruined the campaign. He wasn't gonna win anyway, but still, like, it ruined his campaign. Yes, that's true. But I found it funny. Like, the BR was funny. If that ruined his campaign, it was worth his campaign being ruined for us to get that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that the joy and the funniness that came out of that, which is served many people. And by the way, he's still doing he did just fine. He's still, he's all right. He wasn't hungry in the streets, okay? He didn't go hungry in the streets. He's just fine. He lives in a nice house. He's got money, so he's okay. So we don't got to worry about his oh man, that ruined everything. Like, he wasn't able to, you know, work or eat or sleep or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fine. So as long as it didn't harm him, like, physically, and maybe it probably mentally it harmed him. But, like, as long as he didn't lose, like, you know, his way to work or to live, then it's okay. And I think that the Dave Chappelle skit and the fun, the joy that he's brought to people with that meme is worth a lot. It's worth a lot to me, because that was the funniest thing. That Chappelle show skit and that thing was so funny, and it made me happy. Okay? Like, it made me happy. It's made me happy a lot. There's been times when I've been upset in the past. I remember thinking, yeah, and I would just laugh and smile. It really turned my day around, you know. So it's okay. It was worth it. So yeah, man. If Nintendo Switch 2 was trash, they would have haters coming for their place, bro. I'm telling you. Yo, Massive Rican with the $10 dono?
People want to talk smack about 9th gen output when Switch 2 gonna be out here putting in more first-party games in 6 months 10th gen than Sony first 4 years. Tears of joy, tears of joy.
Like I said, we went over this, Massive Rican. Thank you for the big $10 JoJo. That does make you the overall Stream Ninja. Clean sweep and 71 on the board. 29 combos away from that platinum extension. Let's go. So let's get you up on there. Anybody that's 10 or more, you can tie up or pass up Massive Rican on the board for Stream Ninja. Let's go. And yeah, the thing, like, we think it's like a little bit of a cap, but when you go back and look at the games, you're talking about game for game. You know what I'm saying? Blow for blow. Like, it is definitely, you know, it is definitely up there. You know, it is definitely up there, potentially. Like, after the spring of next year, Nintendo's going to have, at least in terms of major new games, non-remasters, re-releases, no Switch 2 editions, Nintendo's going to have at least 10 or 11 games after midway next year. Because they're going to have Yoshi, they're going to have Mario Tennis Fever, they're going to have Fire Emblem, they're going to have quite a number of games. So if you add that to the 6 games that they had this year in terms of big new titles, they're going to have 10 plus games by the end of probably like June, by 1 year's time. So by June of next year, so 1 year of the Nintendo Switch 2, they're probably going to have at least 10 first party games that are on Switch 2. Now, once again, are we going to count stuff like, you know, are we going to count, you know, Rhythm Heaven or, you know, stuff like that? Maybe. We'll see, you know, so. Bro, it ain't even close. It's great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's pretty wild. Just got my Switch 2 Mario Kart Edition today. Yo, Mars Mox. Okay, hold up. Let's do this then. Shout outs to Mars Mox. I didn't see you in here. You got your Switch 2 Mario Kart Edition today. Nice, nice. Good stuff, man. Anybody here just got their Switch 2 in the last like week or two? How about that? All generations, nothing will stop that tool from digging up some sort of negative spin on things. And there's about 1 million viewers who live, breathe, and eat, sleep hating Nintendo. That's true. Which is, once again, Jackson, I mean, if you look at the world that we live in, that's kind of how we live. That's what gets all the views right now, right, Jackson? That's what gets a lot of the views in this space is that. So I'm trying to figure out ways that, you know, we can get around that. We can talk about the stuff that's important to talk about that, but then we can also discuss the stuff that's like, you know, if you talk positive, it gets you so much hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like it, even if you bring examples and you bring proof, like Sunbro Nation did a video talking about how the Switch 2 is actually, he feels that it's pretty good. And like, that's like his worst ever video likes wise. He got like 80% like to dislike ratio. He got trash in the comment section, you know, and most of his viewers are Nintendo fans. So it's like, I'm not saying that all Nintendo fans feel that way. Obviously they don't, but there is a large number of people that just go around scouting and looking for people that are just acting insane, like crazy, you know? And like, it's worse than it was with the Switch 1 era. Worse. Justin with another $1 donut says, did you ever see the trailer for the scraped Kirby GameCube game? I discovered it while researching Kirby in the GameCube era. I did not see that. So what's all that about? I'd love to see that trailer. I haven't seen it. Or I might have seen it already, like on Did You Know Gaming, but I don't remember it, Justin. So yeah, did not see that yet. Thank you for another $1 dono, extending the Hokage lead to $12. Anybody that's 12 or more, you can beat up my man Justin on the top of the board. And of course, 72 on the board. We got 28 combos for that platinum extension. Round 45. So yeah. What do you think of the Mario Galaxy Collection's performance on Famitsu? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, 3D Mario isn't like massive in terms of re-releases for games. So like 3D All-Stars didn't do anything super crazy or anything like that. So re-release Mario, like older Mario games, aren't necessarily huge in Japan. But yeah, it's fine. Like 50K or something like that, not including digital. So it's probably like around, you could probably add like another 20K or something like that. So it's probably like a 70K opening or something. So yeah, not bad. Switch 2 isn't going to be a failure. It was never going to be a failure. Most of the game, most of it's going to be underperforming. Most of it's going to be underperforming last gen. Yeah, like I said, like Switch 1 is like the ultimate highest selling system in like the 21st century or whatever, or 25th century or whatever, like the most modern, right? In this whole last 2 decades. There we go. Not centuries, decade. Switch 2 is like the best selling one. Most systems don't ever get anywhere near Switch 2. So I'm not expecting a repeat of the Switch 2, just like nobody should expect a repeat of the PlayStation 2. Nobody's expecting Sony to sell 160 million consoles. Nobody should be expecting Nintendo to sell 160 million consoles. Nobody should be expecting Nintendo to repeat what they did with the Switch 1, because the Switch 1 is a cheaper system. A Switch 1 is a system that, once again, that started this whole thing when it comes to hybrid handhelds. I do think this, though, depending on how long Nintendo supports the system, it could get somewhat close. If they can keep this $450 price range, and if they can keep this $450 price range for an extended period of time, so no price increases, which I doubt they'll be able to, but if they can keep the $400 to $500 price range and release as many good games as they did with Switch 1, if not more, and have third-party support, I think there's definitely an opportunity to be like 120, 130 million selling system. There's an opportunity because the Switch 2 is going to have significantly better third-party support than the Switch 1. And I think that can help get an extra, 10, 20 million units of sales on top of what they would have just done if it's a first-party dependent platform, like 100% first-party dependent. Whereas, Switch 1 wasn't that, but when it comes to AAA third-party games, it has very few in comparison to Xbox and PlayStation. Like, when you look at Switch 1, there are a number of games. There's Borderlands, there's a lot of games, but there's not a lot of day-and-date games. There's not a lot of games that came out that was like, oh yeah, that was on, PS5 and Xbox Series only or whatever. Switch 2 has already proved that it can get games that are current gen only and can probably do games that are also next gen if the specs of the next gen systems are lining up, because they're going to still support PS5 and Xbox One, Xbox Series from what it all looks. So Switch 2 is still going to be able to play, it can play Star Wars Outlaws, it can play Resident Evil pretty well. So I'm guessing that with the Switch 2, it's going to be able to actually have a bit more, I would say, versatility than the Switch 1 did in the first number of years and even going forward. So that should help out with the help it get a number of sales that the Switch 1, the Switch 1 got, obviously, but the sales of certain third-party games necessarily weren't anything impressive on there. Jose, what do you think about the algorithm? Would you do something titled in their videos negatively, but the content was the opposite? I mean, the content was the negative title, but opposite in there. I mean, that'd be a good test case study. Maybe I can do a little bit of that in my A/B testing, but then people would get upset at that. People got upset with me saying that there was, big news or whatever, that I said, whatever for today's video. That has like a mad amount of dislikes. People say I'm clickbaiting. So titles are always weird, when it comes to how you title things and how people perceive it. So I'm still learning myself with titles. There's like never any like definitive, like, oh yeah, this works, like this works 100% of the time. It's always like, sometimes it pops off, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people think it's clickbait, sometimes people think it's not. It could be the same title, so yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Switch 2 and PS5 will end up as the 2 best-selling consoles ever when it's all said and done. I don't think PS5 is going to end up as I don't think the PS5 is going to sell as much as the PS2 or as much as the Switch 1. I don't think so. It would have to sell another. It'd have to sell another 80 million units from this point. That's very hard to believe. I do not see it selling 160 million units. I just don't see that. Especially as Sony's been raising the price of the system. I don't see it selling 180 million units. 160 million units. I don't see it selling that. GTA 6 can do it. Why didn't GTA 5 do it for PS4, for PS3, PS4, or PS5? Or PS3 or PS4? Or even for PS5 starting out. Why didn't GTA 5 bump the sales up to some ungodly number? Let's just talk about PS3. PS4 was cut short. PS3 sucked. PS4 was cut short. How was PS4 cut short? That came out at the very end of the PS4 gen. How was PS4 cut short? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think GTA 5 is going to propel 80 million units, in my opinion. I don't think so. Pandemic ended its production? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's the reason why PS4 didn't sell 160 million was because of the pandemic. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't think that at all, because there's still the production of the PS4 even happened after the pandemic, and PS4 support, they were still selling PS4s. So no, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. But if you think that that's fine, but no, I disagree. I disagree. I don't think PS4 would have hit PS2 numbers. No. But once again, that's just my opinion. You know, it's not even close to the PS2. I mean, it's at 117 million, 120 million, somewhere in that range. That is still 40 million off from the PlayStation 2. So yeah. Oh yeah, we can agree to disagree. I mean, you're just making a lot of speculation on, you know, which is, and nothing wrong with speculation, but there's nothing to sit there and say that if there was no COVID or if there was no pandemic, you're going to sell 40 million more systems based off of what? Before the pandemic, the PS4 wasn't putting up crazy numbers. So even before we got to the pandemic, where Sony was still producing the PS4, it was still before the PS5 came out, before the pandemic in 2018 and 2019, PS4 was not putting up ungodly numbers. It was not putting up these crazy, it was slowing down considerably in 2018 and 2019. Switch, that's actually the years that the Switch 1 just lapped the PS4. Remember, the PS4 was ahead of the Switch 1. It had a 3-year head start on it. Those were the years that the Switch 1 just absolutely obliterated the PS4 in sales numbers. It was 2018, 2019, Smash Brothers was the start of it. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Those years right there, Switch 1 just absolutely overtook it and swallowed it, then passed it up. You know, once again, Switch 1 was released in 2017. PS4 was released in 2013, the end of 2013. So, you know, about 3 years. 14, 15, a little bit less than 3 years. 2 years and some odd months. 2 years and some odd months. So, but yeah. So in my opinion, at least, I didn't see the momentum for the PS4 all of a sudden swinging it to sell 40 million more units. That's not, I didn't see that, you know? See, recruit me if you need my help. Take down Party Man and Mario Tennis Fever. I'll train up. Okay, yes, General Zamora, as someone who actually took down Party Man and Mario Kart a few times and all that, a number of... Yeah, we're going to need your help, General Zamora. Yeah, we're going to need your help. You're pretty good at video games. So, yeah. $80 GTA 6 not bumping anything. I think that GTA 6 is absolutely going to bump the PlayStation 5 sales to good amounts. I think that it's going to help it sell a lot. I just don't think it's going to help it sell another 80 million units. You know, I don't think that. I do think it's going to help it sell. I do think that the PS5 is going to hit. I think PS5 is going to hit, you know, 120, 130 million. I think it's going to sell really good. But I am a little bit worried about the prices. Okay, the price right now for the PS5 is, the PS5 is doing good, but it's not doing incredible. And the reason why I say it's not doing incredible, because if you look at this year, right now, the Nintendo Switch 2 has outsold the PS5 for the full year, and the Switch 2 came out in June. Yet the Switch 2 sold more, and I know it's a new system, but the PS5 has everything. It has Sony's first-party support. It has every single third-party game. It has every single Japanese game. It has everything. Every single thing comes out for the PlayStation 5. There is everything that you want to play. There is almost no game that comes out that's not on PlayStation 5. It gets everything. And, you know, and it's still, the sales there are well below what the Switch 2 launched at. Now, once again, that might change. We see maybe potentially in Europe, PS5 is doing a bit better than Switch 2. You know, once more games come out, obviously Pokemon's going to help boost things up. We see some stuff there. But considering how much content the PS5 gets, you know, I thought this would be like the golden years of them selling crazy amounts, you know, and it's just not. It's doing okay, but it's not selling crazy amounts. Now, once again, GTA 5 is going to be a big, massive boost. I agree. People are going to buy, you know, the PS5 for GTA. But do we not know that a lot of people haven't already bought a PS5 in anticipation of GTA 6? That's something that we have to consider. We have to consider that a lot of people that are looking forward to GTA 5 have maybe already bought a PlayStation, or sorry, GTA 6, have already bought a PlayStation 5. We have to consider that. Now, once again, I'm not saying that's the case 100%. I'm just saying it's something to consider. Considering the system, we've known about GTA 6 for years now. It was leaked for a while now. We knew that it was coming out. I think there might have been a lot of people that already kind of bought it and are just waiting on standby. Now, once again, we have to wait and see. I think it's going to help sell systems. There's going to be a console bundle. I think it's going to do really good. But I think that there's a lot of people that actually already have the system. They have their Xbox, they have their PlayStation, you know, they're ready for it, you know? Eagles up 17-13. Now, by the way, what did I tell you guys? People say, oh man, the Eagles are getting blown out. No, they're not. What did I tell you guys? It was barely anything. 13-3 is nothing. So, yeah. Nah, don't hide behind General Zamora. I will hide behind General Zamora. I never said it was going to outsell a PS2, but I said it got to 140. There'd be no chip shortage, and there'd be sold as a budget console after the release of the release a la PS2. Will it be sold as a budget console? See, like, these are the things that I don't know if it's going to happen, G. I think that you bring up good points. I like the intellect. I like the stimulation of new ideas, even if we don't, like I said, we don't have to agree. People say, oh, I always get mad at people I disagree with. No, I don't. I like this because you're being smart about it. That's cool. But what I'm unsure about, are they going to budget price it? You know, I'm just not sure. So we'll see. Oh, about the PS4. Yeah, once again, like I said, who knows? But we'll see with the PS5 what happens there. I definitely did my PS5 collecting dust till GTA. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a lot of people that did that. For sure, GTA 6 will provide a bump in PS5 sales, but it's not going to bump it by tens of millions of units. PS4 got GTA and sold 117 million. I expect PS5 to cap out at 120 by 2030. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. Selling 160 million or selling 150 million, that's like ungodly numbers that are boosted by some type of phenomenon that was not there. Like I said, being in the 2000s, having a DVD player was like you were freaking Richie Rich. You were Scrooge McDuck. You were high end, bro. And I know that sounds crazy now to a lot of you Zoomers out there, but I'm telling you, if you were a teen in the 2000s or a young man in the 2000s and you had that DVD player, trust me, that thing was incredible. It was incredible. It was dope. It was just dope to have, and it served a lot of purposes for a lot of people. People put those in their living rooms, man. I remember my friend Daniel, bro, his dad bought a PS2 for himself. He wasn't even into video games, but he saw a DVD player for $349 when DVD players cost $500, $600, $700. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna get the PS2 so you can play your games and we can watch. And they put that thing in the living room, man. They did not put that in my friend Daniel's room. They put that in the living room, and they would watch DVDs. They would watch movies on there for years. That was their actual DVD player until DVD prices came down. I was like, okay, yeah, you can move the PS2. But you know how many times I saw a PS2 in the living room at my friends' houses? Bro, it was more times than I can count where I go to somebody new's house and they got a PS2 in the living room. Like, legit. Like, just sitting there. Don't got that many games. But they got the PS in the living room with a bunch of DVDs that were coming out. Because that was just the quality and being able to skip and get to a certain part. Bro, like I said, you Zoomers, you guys don't understand this, but cassette tapes or VHS tapes are trash. They were, I mean, I don't know, even, why did we use those for so long? We've been using VHS tapes for like a decade, bro. They were trash. And then finally, the DVD technology came out, and people were like, man, those VHS, like those big old blocks, man, people were like, man, these CDs are so cool. It looked futuristic. I'm telling you, man, parents just would cop the PS2, put that thing in the living room, man. Like, just put that thing in. So I saw that a lot, man. So the PS2, it reached those numbers because of the DVD player aspect and because of the discounts and sales and deals and in emerging markets. Latin America, bro, they just found out what a PS2 was in like 2013. Those people out there, you got FIFA, and bro, it was better than Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho in the World Cup, better than Pele in the World Cup, bro. It's like you look at the Mount Rushmore of South America, it's PS2, Pele, Ronaldinho, and like Ronaldo. PS2 is up there with the all-time greats in South America and Latin America, bro. They found out, bro, they love that. FIFA bundles, bro. You put FIFA with the PS2 for a good price that that people there, Brazil, and people can actually afford. That was a smart move by Sony. A very smart move, because they sold a lot of PS2s after it already been dead and buried here in the US and here in Europe and there in Europe, and it was gone. It was pretty much done. Nobody was buying Japan. Nobody was buying those anymore, but people were buying the heck out of them over there. So people were buying those PS2s in the FIFA bundles. So yeah, man. OJ speaks the truth. DVD players cost $400 in the early 2000s. So PS2 with the DVD player was no brainer. Yep, no brainer. So yeah, early 2000s DVD player equals millennial version of Netflix and chill. Well, no. Well, here's the thing though. Back then, man, people were immoral and there was some weird stuff. But back then, like, you weren't doing, like, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same as that. Well, that's not people. Well, then again, I wasn't necessarily old enough to be doing that, but I mean, I see what you're saying for sure. Oh man, you can't be kind and rewind with the DVD. Yeah, be kind and rewind. That's what they said in the movie, like in the Blockbuster or like the video cities or like the rental places. Hey, can you please rewind it so when the next person gets it, you know, it's gonna be ready to go. Can you please do that for us? You gotta rewind. You gotta press the buttons. Just such ghetto technology, man. But hey, man, that's what we did. That's what we did. Because Betamax didn't take off. Betamax was a big old huge DVDs, bro. Like those things suck. So VHS was the next best thing, and they were cheap. But when DVDs came out, it was like, oh heck yeah, let's go. You know, if you really think about it, it was amazing the PS2 sold that well without a game that sold over 20 million. I think, yeah, San Andreas. I think San Andreas sold 20 million. But they're considering how, I'll say this though, George, to your point, considering how well the PS2 sold, the fact that it doesn't have software that sold 40 million, that sold a lot of software that sold 40, 30, like high end, like crazy numbers, that kind of tells you that it was a DVD player for a lot of people, you know? It was a DVD player for a lot of people. So yeah. VHS for movies, cassette tapes for music. Yep. I remember I had a Sony Walkman VHS music thing, little player, which I used to listen to all the time, like a little black and gray one back in the day. And then when CDs came out, those were cool portable CD players. But the problem was sometimes you have to hold them still unless you got the ones that were anti-skip technology, which they charge a little bit more for. But you guys remember like those little personal ones? They were like black on the bottom and like blue or pink or yellow or whatever on the top. Those little personal CD players. You put it in your pocket, the anti-skip ones. If they're not anti-skip, you got to hold it flat. You got to hold it in your hand like this. Or you got to put it on the table. Those they did, but there were ones that were anti-skip. There were ones that came out a little bit later they're a bit more pricey, but they were anti-skip to where you can just put it in your pocket or you can put it upside down, whatever the case was. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Sony Discman. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I remember though. I had one in this. I'm showing my age. I had one of those in college. Oh man, there was this history class that I took in college. I remember I had this. I borrowed it. Who did I borrow it from? I forgot what girl there was. Oh yeah, there was a girl from my high school that I borrowed it from her. And because I didn't have one myself, and it was pink, and I didn't care. And like we had to listen to all these old school historic songs from like the I think it was the American Civil War. And if you got all this, like he would play the songs in class. Like this was after the written portion. He would play the songs in class, and if you remember the song off the top of your like the top of your head or whatever, and like wrote it down, you get extra credit, and he'd always give hella extra credit. So that class, I got an A plus 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 plus. I got the highest score in the class because I remembered every single song because I had a Sony Discman where I would listen to the music in between my classes and then write it down like, okay, that's this song, that's this song, this song. Most people didn't care in the class because it was extra credit, but I wanted to get the best possible score. So I remember doing that with that little pink Sony Discman. And then he asked me, because I was the only person in class that got all of them right. He said, yo, he's like, how'd you do that? And I was like, this pink CD player. And people were like, what? But it was like one of those like lecture hall class, like where you go into class. It was like in a big hall. It was like 70 to like 100 students in class at any time, you know? It was like one of those classes. Back then, the DVDs were huge as they provided solid revenue for movies, either bad or modest box offices. Oh yeah, absolutely. Flip phones and black and white LCDs just released when I was in high school. Everyone in 10th grade had a slider phone, a flip phone, black and white LCD was so cool. Oh yeah. I remember like when I was like, I remember like sidekicks were like the cool thing back in the day for me. Like where you go, it goes, and people would be like, I never had one of those. But everybody, like where you clip it on the side of, like you clip it on the side of your pants, like then you make sure that your shirt was in between that, so people knew you had that phone right there. So you had to make sure that your shirt was, you know, in between the little clip, so it would show that the phone was there. That was a cool thing back then. You know, now obviously you put your phone in your pocket. People don't know if you have a. I mean, most like some girls, like depending on what they're wearing, like you can see that they clearly have a phone in their pants or their pocket or whatever. Even some guys, right? Whatever. But like back then, it was like you put the clip. You'd have a clip. And you want to make sure that people know, oh yeah, I got that. I'm gonna pull it off my clip, flip it up. Yeah, let me tell you, I had that. I was doing that. Oh man. Oh yeah, I had a pager. I had a pager that didn't work. I had a pager that did not work in high school. Like that's how old I am. I had a pager that did not work. I just found it on the ground one day, and I was like, oh cool, a pager. I used to see pagers in all the different movies, and I used to think they were so cool if you had a pager. But it was like pagers so ghetto. Somebody's paging you, go to a payphone. Like, why can't I just talk to you right now? Pages are like the most ghetto thing ever. Yo, man. Hey, I'm calling you. Get to a payphone. I need to talk to you. Or get home. Something's happening. Woo! Oh, man, bro. It was so funny. Let's see, Switch 2 sales update. What does that mean? Yeah, we went over the sales update. Basically, the Switch 2 is sold in the first 3 months. It's broken the record or extended its lead, I guess, it's about 5% above the PlayStation 4. If you look at compared to Switch 1 in the same time frame, launch aligned, it's 77% above it. It's over 2.4 million. That's also a record as well, fastest selling. So yeah, it's doing good in terms of the sales update. Pages made sense before cell phones, though. They did, but it still was like, it was still funny because I was rolling around with the pager long after people stopped using pagers. Let me just tell you right now. People already had Nokia bricks, like, by that time. And like I said, I found a pager on the ground. It didn't work, but I still kept it. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's go. I mean, it looks cool. But yeah, there was already, like, in the mid-90s, there was, like, the Nokia bricks. Like, those, like, little Nokia, like, the mid to late 90s, right? The Nokia brick phones started becoming popular. So but yeah, there was a reason for pagers. I mean, obviously there was a reason for them. I mean, there were cell phones in the 80s and stuff like that. Like there were some people had like where they had like the briefcase cell phone, big old huge cell phone, where it fit like the whole, like you had like a whole tower inside of your phone. I bet if you found a Nokia brick phone now, it would be working no problem. Man, those Nokia brick phones were incredible, dude. You can drop them on the ground, you can throw them, you can fry them, you can do all that. Yeah. Remember BlackBerry? Oh yeah. I had a BlackBerry in once BlackBerries became somewhat cheap to buy. I had a BlackBerry, I think in like 2009, I had a BlackBerry. 2009, before I got my first Samsung, I had a BlackBerry. I think I got my first Samsung in 2014, but before that, I had a I rolled with the BlackBerry phone. Like, Well past its prime, I rolled with the black man. I was like, yeah, I got a black man. Yeah, here we go. Oh, man, dude. Remember thinking car phones like were the coolest thing ever. I never really saw people use phones like, use like car phones or use like cell phones like back then. I mean, I was alive and kicking back then, but like I never saw people use cell phones. Like those were like definitely people like in the cities or something like that. And I never really lived in like the big cities. Like, you know, I always lived like in the suburbs outside of the big cities. So yeah, I never really saw people, you know, when I was younger, like in the 80s or in the early 90s use cell phones. I had seen one time when I was in Los Angeles, but I didn't really see it a lot, you know? Did they have car phones in the movie Clueless? I don't remember. I remember Clueless, like the TV show, and I used to watch the TV show a lot with Stacey Dash and like that other chick. But I don't, and like the PD from Remember the Titans, he was in there too, right? So I remember watching that show, but I don't remember anything like from that show. I just liked watching it because. so yeah, but I remember but I don't remember like what they talked about it. I wasn't focused when I watched that show. Definitely was not focusing when I watched that show. Not focusing at all. Oh man! Actually, speaking of phones, back then when the show Heroes was big, they had a cell phone game, and you bet your butts there was. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I think they had a huge clunker of a cell phone in the movie Clueless. Okay, the movie Clueless, yeah. It's amazing how Clueless. Oh yeah. Well, she. Oh man, she tried to apologize though. I don't know if she invited to the cookout yet though, man. She tried to apologize though, man. She apologized. Oh man, you inviting her back to the cookout or not, Shanks? Part of me wants to be sympathetic towards her. Part of me wants to be sympathetic towards you because she was such a great actor. She was such a great actor. At least in Clueless, she was. This is hell no. All right, she's like she ain't coming back. She apologized though. She apologized. So I mean, it is what it is, right? I held on being able to get a hold of me outside of a phone for a long time. I didn't get a cell phone for 2010 is about the absolute latest that you can like hold out on getting a cell phone, you know? Like that is definitely the absolute latest that you can hold out, you know? So yeah. What's up, OJ? I like how the Switch 2 did 2.4 million units sold in 3 months in the US, and certain grifter recently made a video saying it's doing very bad. You know that man got bills to pay. Oh yeah, that's called rent's due. Because it's literally the fastest selling system of all time. Now, once again, they did have stock, but that's the point of being able to sell good. You're able to sell good because you have stock, and it's going to continue selling well. So yeah. But yeah, it's basically rent is due. I don't watch those videos because we all know it's disingenuous. You literally sold the most systems of all time. Nintendo, trust me, Nintendo could have restricted the amount of systems sold. They could have done the stupid thing, which would be hold back systems to make it seem as if it's always sold out. That wouldn't be a smart idea. You'd get less sales that way. Have stock, have it available so people don't have to think if it's going to be there or not. They just know it's going to be there. So whenever I feel like buying it, I can buy it, you know? And that's exactly why they've been able to sell as much as they've been able to sell, because it's available. People can go there and buy it. Now, that's not the same way in Japan, obviously, but that's what I think. Like, listen, having your system available and ready to buy is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So every time I go to my Walmarts, you can see that there's stock. It's rearranged a bit because some people come in and buy a few here or there. It sells steadily, and it continues to sell steadily. And that's what you need. You don't need to be sold out and to be scalped for 1K on you know, like I said, a lot of these YouTubers, once again, rent's due, and there's trauma from the PS5 and Xbox series. They equate sold out and the Switch 1 to selling the best, which is not the case. You want to have the stock so people can buy it. Who wants to have systems scalped for 1K? Nobody wants that. So yeah. She's banned from the cookout. Listen, I'd have to listen. If Stacey Dash wanted to come to the cookout, I'd have to have a talk with her. We'd have to have a discussion, and I'd have to ask her a few questions. If I'm satisfied with the questions, because she did apologize, I might invite her to the cookout or not. But once again, she wouldn't just be able to just a free invite. I'd have to talk to her a little bit. I'd have to talk to her, see where her head's at, and then we could discuss things from there, okay? If Station Dash wanted to come to the cookout, if she wanted to. I grew up in the 90s, and I never understood the purpose of pagers. Found my uncle's pager, fiddled with it. My uncle snatched it. What are you doing, man? Snatched it out. It'd have to be a round table like the Mob, or it'd have to be like the another one that like a round table like the Mob, or another one that that was funny from Did You Know Gaming, back when Nintendo put together the team that ultimately made Pokemon Snap, because they were looking to make a different type of game. Nintendo was looking to make games that would get people to think a little bit differently, or they're looking to kind of get out of the conundrum that the industry was in game development in the mid 90s. So Nintendo put together a team, and originally the game was going to be a Jack and Jill, like a Beanstalk game, something like with Jack and Jill, or that's how they got their name or something like that. This is a Did You Know Gaming thingy. But ultimately, that's the team that ultimately ended up making Pokemon Snap. It kind of went randomly out of nowhere. But when they were doing interviews for the job, because lots of people applied, but Nintendo obviously wants the best of the best. But one guy wrote in like, hey, you know, he said, hey, he applied, wrote it in, and then all of a sudden he got a letter back from them. But then when he went to the hotel to do his interview, he said it was like this. He went in, it was like a big empty space, and it was like Miyamoto, it was like Iwata, it was like all the big guns, right? It was all of them. It was like all of them sitting down with the light behind them, so you couldn't really see their faces. They can see your face, but it was like shadowy, and it was all just like the Elite Four. It was like, and they were all just sitting down with the desk. You know, he said that was like super intimidating. So yeah, it would be like that, Shaw X. It would be empty space, hotel that not everybody knows about, kind of around the corner. You know what I'm saying? A light shining in the back where you can, you know, barely see the faces. You know, it'd be something like that, you know? So it would be like that type of thing for me. Love the random trivia OJ drops. Hey man, I do my best, guys. My wife, like I said, I told this story the other day. Like, my wife makes fun of me because even when I'm sleeping or when I'm trying to sleep, I still think about what I'm gonna be able to say on the next stream or not. So the whole story, like I put on the facts, the PS2 facts, the Nintendo facts, and I try to learn as much as I can, even when I'm lying down, so I can have interesting things to talk about or reference. So that whole thing was literally me. I never watched that video when I'm like, I'm gonna watch a video today. That whole story was based off of me trying to sleep, and me half asleep and me hearing that story while I'm sleeping. I've never actually watched that like when I'm up and awake. That was simply a thing that was just on or randomly turned on when I'm sleeping. So yeah, the Did You Know Gaming stuff. So yeah, I always try to be knowledgeable to the best of my ability on gaming stuff. So yeah, that's where that story came from. I grew up I already read that, shout outs. Excuse me. Let's see. They were moving like it was like the Mafia, bro. It was like the Mafia. Had to track down with pagers and payphones. Yeah, I remember payphones used to be all over the place. You don't really see payphones as much anymore, but they used to be kind of like all over the place, you know. So yeah. If you guys have not hit that like button though, guys, please hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming. Let's go. If you guys have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Shout outs to everybody watching. And oh my goodness, I just checked the time. We did not hit the 3-hour overclock, but I've been yapping for so long, an hour went by before I even checked. Or actually, no, we did. What the hell am I talking about? We didn't hit the platinum streak. That's my bad. It's been 2 hours and 53 minutes. I've got 7 minutes left on the stream today. I thought I was like around the 2-hour mark. Goodness gracious. Wow. Anyway, that's fine. Hit the like button if you guys have not hit the like button. If you have the final questions, feel free to tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence by itself. I'm more than happy to answer all of your awesome, lovely Elite Ninja questions, guys. So that's crazy. That is wild. That is wild. Okay. Did not know that we were that far. Let's see. What if London still has the big red I wonder if London still has the big red telephone booths. I think they have it in some like historic parts of London. I don't think they're all over the place though, but I have seen one of those before. Yeah, time flies, man. Goodness gracious. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why I made the video today. People are gonna try to spin it like the grifter angle for the Switch 2 sales. The Switch 2 sales are great. I mean, if they're talk about what's not doing good, talk about the Xbox Series. Talk about how the Xbox Series isn't doing that great. Talk about that. Talk about how the Switch 2 is the best-selling system of the year so far. Talk about how the Switch 2 is 77% above the Switch 1 launch aligned. So yeah, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it at all. It's a bunch of nonsense. So yeah. All right, Kevin with the $5 dono. It says, "I don't have a question, but let me get Phendrana battle Metroid Prime." All right, I got you. Phendrana battle Metroid Prime. I got you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $5, Kevin. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to hit the 100 combo for the Platinum Streak to 45 today, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe on JoJo Friday. We'll see. But 77, 23 combos away. We still have some time left on the stream, so let's go. Shoutouts, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. This is the Phendrana is a good one. Just imagine Samus walking to Phendrana GIFs and this starts to bump. I'm not the biggest fan of Metroid Prime music, but I do think that it's awesome. I do think that it's awesome. Yo, Clabby! What is this, my man, with the save? Let's go! And D Money, Clabby with the 50 says platinum. Yo, that's actually over. We needed 23 combos. We got a 50-piece chicken nugget. Yo, we are out here, Clabby. Yo, I appreciate that, man. Seriously, thank you so much, Clabby. 127 on the board. Clabby out here with a huge save. That's okay, man. We out here tonight. Let's go. Thank you so much, Clabby. I appreciate you, man. That's super, 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 super nice of you. 45 on the Platinum Streak, guys, at 50. So that means probably next week we could potentially hit the marathon stream with the 50 Platinum Streak. So I appreciate that, guys. Let's go. So here's what's going to happen with the marathon stream. We are going to get Elite Ninjas to be able to request Switch 1 or Switch 2 games. We're going to have different themes. So it's going to be themed like Switch 2, updates, or it's going to be Mario games, Zelda games, whatever. And you guys are going to be able to suggest games, and I will randomly pick games. There are going to be some people that are VIPs that have supported a lot that will be able to pick it, that will be able to get a game. Clabby, I talked to you about that. I talked to Justin about that, Party Man. Certain people will be able to get a game, which I'll have more people that'll be able to do that. But we're also going to let you guys vote on games that you want to see and add in other games for the marathon stream. So it's exciting, man. This is super exciting. So thank you guys so much for your support. I've been meaning to do that, a marathon stream. I just want to know like a way to get it done. And I think this is like super fun. This will be a super fun marathon stream, and we'll have extensions even during the stream. We'll be able to have extensions and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be great. Just got to pick a day, probably the end of October, for this one. Clabby, looks like at end of October will be a good one for the marathon stream. So I'll get the post up once we hit that 50 on there, and then we can all kind of vote and speculate on what we're gonna see for games. I want to do a lot of Switch 1 update. I haven't played a lot of them enough, so I want to do a lot of games that have like the Switch 1 updates, like Echoes of Wisdom, or like Link's Awakening, or like stuff like, or like Mario. I want to do Mario Odyssey. I want to do Mario Odyssey, like 100% want to do Mario Odyssey, you know? So yeah. Shout outs to Clabby, man. Thank you so much. Platinum streak busted. Let's go. 45 on there, 5 away. That is awesome, man. What's up, Katana Riku? Welcome. Play Yuka Replay, y'all. Serious game. It's seriously good. If I'm gonna play that, I want to wait for the 60 FPS update. I do want to play that because I originally got it on the Xbox, and maybe that's the reason why I was depressed while I was playing it. But like I think, well, no, the original game wasn't that great, but this one apparently is much better. But I want to wait for the 60 FPS update on Switch 2 before I play that one, because I think it's at 30 right now. So 3D platformer, I need that at 60. What's up, Katana Riku? I've been playing Hades 2. I gotta say, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna probably play Hades. I think Hades is gonna be like another game that we're gonna play as well. So yeah. I know it's good even at 30. I think it's probably like a rock solid 30. But yeah, it'd be great if they get that. I think they're gonna look into a performance mode. They just didn't have much time with the Switch 2 dev kits apparently. So yeah, so we'll see. Shout out to Katana Riku. I mean, Katana, unfortunately, you came at the very end of the stream. Unfortunately. The very end of the stream. Let's go. Playing Yote, chilling. Oh, man. Yote looks super cool, but you know the one thing, and I guess I can extend this just a little bit. You know the one thing that I thought was going to happen with Yote that actually ended up happening? And I don't let reviewers influence me, but I was already thinking that before I even played the game. And I think that it just kind of confirmed that. I watched SkillUp's review of Ghost of Yote, and everything that he said about the game is exactly what I felt could happen as well. Like, he was like, oh, we have like the perfected Assassin's Creed formula, the Ubisoft formula, and that's exactly what they did with Yote. It's like the same exact, you know, formula as Ghost of Tsushima. But the story apparently isn't as good as Ghost of Tsushima's story. So I'm not that I'm not gonna play it because of what he said, but I've already kind of checked out. Even like I played Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I checked out of that too. Like I'm just kind of done with the Assassin's Creed type of game. Like I don't think I'm gonna play those anymore. So if a game is like Assassin's Creed, or if it plays like Assassin's Creed, or if it's a variation of Assassin's Creed, I think I'm just done with that. But yeah, I think it's still a great game though. Still a great game. Kevin with the $2 dono says, "Can I get any music? Can I get any music from Xenosaga?" Yes, Xenosaga. And I played Ghost of Tsushima. I played that game. I put like I think 15 to 20 hours into it, and like I tapped out because I was like, this game's good. It's better than Assassin's Creed, but there's no world interaction. You can't. Like I said this before, and people got salty at me and they disliked my video to hell and back, and I don't care. I said it and I meant it. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild ruined open world games for me. Those games, you can manipulate the world, you can climb anywhere, you can do all sorts of crazy stuff, you can make things, you can craft, I mean, it's like, it's all this different stuff that you can do. And in these open world games, like, you just follow birds, and you can follow birds around so you get to a secret. There's only certain parts that you can climb. There's only certain, it's so scripted and segmented and robotic, Shadows was the same way. Shadows was also the same way, although a little bit more freedom with where you can climb. You have more freedom than a lot of open world games. But yeah, I think I'm just kind of done after Shadows. Like, yeah, I've had enough of this style of game. But no, dude, it looks awesome. I've watched other people play it. I've watched reviews. I'm gonna watch other people play the game. Like, I'm probably gonna just like vicariously live through you guys playing that game. But I think I'm good on. I think I'm ready for Infamous to go back to I'm ready for Sucker Punch to go back to the Infamous franchise and get something new in there, or maybe like something just new altogether. Xenosaga. Let's see here, music. But yeah, it's good though. It's Ghost of Yote it's a great game. It's a great game for sure. Great game for sure. That's why I dropped Outlaws. The formula gets old. Exactly. Like Outlaws is cool, but the formula just gets kind of old. But like I like it for like the technical aspect of it. Like, oh wow, this is what the Switch can do. It's a cool game. It plays good and everything. But like, yeah, I got kind of just tired of the formula, you know. But it's good. It's not bad. I'm not one of those that says if it's not for me, then all of a sudden it sucks. Like I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows sucks. I don't think Ghost of Yotei sucks. I don't think Ghost of Tsushima sucks. I don't think Star Wars Outlaws sucks. It's just I'm kind of tired of those type of games, to be honest, you know? Yeah. Let's see here. I'm waiting for Ninja Gaiden 4. I'll get Yotei when the Legends mode drops. Oh, okay, yeah. Do people think it's $7 DLC? LLJK. I know it's not. Do people think that why wasn't it an $80 game to play everything? And then you also got to add in the cost of the online when you want to play the online mode later. So it's actually $80 plus the $70 or plus another $80 because of the DLC. So it's really a $160 game. I cooked a brony the other day on Juice Man Bond's Twitter page. I cooked this dude so hard. A racist. Usually you can't get the one up on racist bronies because they're racist and they're weirdos. But I said this the other day, but maybe I'll show you guys the tweets because I saved it because I knew this guy was going to block. Well, actually, I didn't know he was going to block me, but I actually cooked a racist brony because he was trying to say that Pokemon Legends is actually $130 or $120 because you got to buy the game for $70. You got to buy the DLC for $30, which makes it $100. Plus, you got to buy the Nintendo Switch Online for $20, so that makes it $120. And I'm like, that's stupid. You don't have to buy the online. Like if you don't want the online. Yeah, there's some megas in there, but you don't have to buy it. You can get your money's worth there. And no, you don't have to buy the DLC. Who cares? Like, there's lots of DLC that gets announced before a game drops. Nobody's ever counted the price of the DLC into the overall game before. Like, nobody does that with with Sony and Microsoft. Nobody does that. Nobody even does that with games that they like, franchises that they like. Nobody did that with Zelda. Nobody did that with anything until you have something to be angry about. When Zelda first launched, nobody said, oh, you gotta buy their season pass. When Xenoblade launched, it was, oh, it's a $100 game with Xenoblade. Nobody did that. That's stupid, okay? Or it's a $90 game. Nobody did it with Ghost of Yotei, where it's like, you want the digital deluxe edition, it's $80. Nobody did that with there. And then when you have to, like, when the DLC or like the Legends mode drops later, you need the PS Plus, it's $80 minimum. Nobody did that. So then he was trying to say that you have to do that. I'm like, okay, well, with Microsoft and Sony, they do that, I mean, all the time. Like, they drop DLC, they have online modes, you know. Do you say that they're 180? He's like, oh, well, I don't care about Microsoft, and Sony's games are all, their best games are all single player, first party. So I don't have, so no. And I'm like, no, because their best single player games, for example, Horizon, that has DLC. That was $20. We knew about that DLC. So does that mean that the game was actually $90? No, you didn't add the price there. How about Ghost of Yotei? They had $10 DLC digital deluxe for $80, and they have an online mode dropping afterwards that you're gonna have to pay $80 to get the online. So that means the game is $180 or $160 to get everything, right? That's when he got blocked. He called me a brainlet and he got mad and he blocked me, you know, after he was talking so tough and acting so big and bad. I'm like, exactly. A lot of these guys are bad faith. They're like I said, they have double standards. They sit there and lie to themselves. Once again, it's the Sony can do no wrong. I like Sony's games, so it's okay. Nobody adds the price of online play to a game. That's stupid. And there's plenty of games where you can get stuff in the online and you can do this or you can experience more content or whatever the case is. Nobody adds the price of online. Nobody adds the price of online to Battlefield. Battlefield 5 that came out, it's a $70 game. Nobody sat there and said, no, it's $150 because you have to add the price of PSN. We have to add the price of Xbox Live to the price of the game. Nobody says that. That's insane. That's insane logic, you know? But that's what they're trying to do with Pokemon Legends ZA. Because, once again, they have to. They have to find something that grifters, 600,000 plus views of Pokemon Legends ZA. Nobody adds the price of online. I've never seen people make videos where they sit there and says a game costs $160 or $150 because the price of the online play. Nobody does that until Pokemon Legends ZA. That's insane. Nobody's done that. Or Battlefield 6, my bad. What's up, OJ? I agree with you on your view of Yotei. I will add the group of most most of Sony's franchises. I'm tired of so many scripted sections, characters just walking and talking. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm tired of to it right now. I actually like Star Wars Outlaws more than most other games because it has gyro aiming, which makes the gameplay so much more fun and interesting. Okay, I can understand that for sure, Jackson. I can understand that, you know? It's insane. It's insane the logic that some people go to. And that's what got me blocked by him, by the racist brony, was because, and if anybody's questioning, go on Juice Man Vaughn's post and look at his post on the Pokemon Legends. Like I said, people are just making a killing, getting all sorts of views, simply just making up stuff that they never had for any other game. It's $120 because you have to have the online, or because you have to have the DLC. Since when did we add the cost before it launched? Because they announced it before. Nobody said in 2017 that Breath of the Wild was $90. They said, or $80. They said it was a $60 game because Breath of the Wild cost $60. And if you want this season pass, you can buy it. And it was announced before the game came out. And it was available to buy day one. It's literally the same as Pokemon Legends EA. It's the same as Borderlands. It's the same as like a million other games that have came out before it. Nobody's done that till now. It's insane, bro. People are out here capping. Weird energy, in my opinion. I always say it's always the whole Nintendo unrealistic standard and set unrealistic expectations for Nintendo, but they do blind. Listen, I don't mind if you have a problem with it. I don't mind you having a problem with it or criticizing it. What I don't like is when people don't have the same standards. That is called double standards. But you would expect that from somebody racist. So I mean, like, it does. Yes, racist people have double standards. So you'd expect that. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. Yes, most of the time when people have these double standards and have these weird things, it's because they're very judgmental, biased, double standards, and racist people. Like, that's the only logic that you can come to. It's okay for one, but not the other, you know? So it makes sense, you know? It makes complete sense that somebody racist would have insane double standards. Like, it makes complete sense. But anyway, if I'm not just saying that, I don't just throw that term out there just to throw that term out there. Go on Juice Man Vaughn's post, go on his Twitter page, look at the post about where he quote tweeted the whole Pokemon Legends ZA thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm there on there. Exactly. I can't stand the hypocrisy. I respect the criticism provided by all games, platforms, same. Exactly.
Don't
same
forget
standards.
the price of the console, TV or monitor, electricity bill, and your rent or mortgage of your house to Pokemon ZA's price.
That dude got so angry when I said that. He responded to me twice because I said that. I said, you know what? I was like, you know what? Why are we stopping there? Let's add the price of the electricity. Let's add the price of the TV. Let's add the price of the water running. Let's add the price of the house. Let's just go ahead and add it. He's like, you're not slick. I'm like, clearly I'm slick because you had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly that you had an issue with me saying that. So it was like, yeah. So like from now on, I might make a parody video at the end of the year. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I got a video that I'm going to do. I'm not going to reveal to you guys my next character, but I got a new character that I'm going to be doing. I ain't going to reveal to you who it is. I did buy the outfit. I did buy what I needed, and I've got a new character to replace Black Keely. Don't worry, guys. Somebody knew was coming. You'll find out at the end of the year during the Game Awards. But I got some comedy skits that I'm gonna do. I got some skits that I'm working on. So people have been asking for Black Keely to come back. That's retired. So yeah.
Bro, I would love to see the thread, but can we ask the man why he has me blocked when I ain't ever said nothing to the man shrugging medium skin tone?
What, Juice Man Vaughn has you blocked? That must have been an accident. Juice, you gotta unblock Massive Rican, bruh. Juice, you gotta unblock. He's an elite ninja. Juice, you gotta unblock Massive Rican. It was definitely an accident if Juice has you blocked. Rip Black Keely, yeah, Rip Black Keely. Ready. The new character, you guys are gonna love the new character. I just gotta work on the mannerisms, and I gotta work on the I gotta work on that. I don't know if I'm gonna full on just emulate how this person talks and all that. I'm gonna try, but I mean, I think I can just use a normal voice, and you guys will know if I just have a certain outfit on and stuff. You guys will know who it is instantly. I mean, obviously, I'll say who I am. I'll say the name. But you guys are gonna love the character. I think it's funny. He said he got me blocked. Why the man has me blocked when I ain't said nothing to the man? So wait, Massive Rican, bro. Wait, who's blocked who? Hold up. Who's blocked who? I'm confused now. Thank you for the $3 and thank you for the $5 Uncario. Exactly. Got to just add in everything there, man. Just add in everything overall, bro. Just add it all in. Let's go. Shout outs, guys. 142 plus the 3. 145. Oh my gosh. I thought we might not even hit the platinum streak. We're at 145 on here. Let's go. Combo breaks. Almost at the double platinum. I guess I went over a little bit too, because Clabby did that nice generous stun at the end. I couldn't end it right there. So maybe we can go for like another, maybe we can hang out for like another 15 and we'll end it after that if you guys have questions. So many people got me blocked. I'm not sure if by accident or something I said. Whenever I see his thread, it says I'm blocked. Okay. Yeah, so Massive Rican, you got to link your Twitter page here. So Massive Rican, link your Twitter page and Juice Man Vaughn can unblock you because he can click on it. So he can click on it and he can get you unblocked. We definitely went further than beyond. Let's go. We forgot to add in the cost of the fuel and the Switch delivery driver. You got to add the, like, if you go buy the game physical, you got to add in the cost of you actually going to buy the game physical. You got to add that cost in as well, you know? You got to add that in too. So there's a lot to consider, you know? Electricity, the cost, you got to add the cost of everything, you know? So you got to add that cost in. But no, you guys are going to love the new character. The new character is very funny. It's a very funny character. I've already kind of talked about this quite a bit throughout the years, and I kind of like, you know, I think some of you guys might have an idea of who it is, you know, but it should be fun. I'm not going to say anything more till the Game Awards, and I'm going to reveal the new character during the Game Awards. So in a skit, so should be fun. Black DSP. Isn't that already like nah, I ain't gonna say it. Oh man. Shout outs to Uncario, shout outs to Kevin. Shout outs to Massive Rican. Appreciate you guys, bruh. Clabby, thank you for the big 50, bruh. Let's go. If you guys have more questions, feel free to tag me at Players. It's hashtag Players by itself. More than happy to answer all of your questions. Appreciate that, guys. Let's go. Love Legend of Zelda. See, like that's the problem. My problem is that I played Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. That once again, that absolutely ruined open world games for me right there. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. If you show up in a banana suit, we're gonna have a long talk. I am not gonna give that person clout to be in a banana suit. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're not giving that person clout at all. Absolutely not. We are definitely not giving that person clout. That dude's a complete weirdo, man. Complete. Like, I think that there's something wrong. Like, legitimately, there's something wrong. Like, mentally, like CTE or something like that. You know. Like, there's definitely something wrong there. Like, there's a screw loose in that in that head of his. So I'm good, you know. So yeah. Let's see. Are you going to try Pokemon Champions when it comes out? Oh yeah, I'll try Pokemon Champions. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Potter? This is what up, OG. The Game Pass price hike actually got me to cancel and move over to PlayStation for a bit. Ordered my PS5 Pro from Best Buy open box. I haven't owned a PlayStation since 2016. Dang, it got you to buy a used PlayStation. Man, yeah, I can't buy Potter. This is jokes, but I appreciate you, fam. But I can't buy no used PlayStation. You guys are on PlayStation owners. You can see what they're on all the time. Those PlayStations been worn out. PlayStation owners, man, they be on these websites and stuff. Like, they be trying to find what. Nah, man, I can't, bro. I can't. I'm good. I can't be buying no used play too many times, man. Might be some. I know they might clean it, but nah, man. You already know what's been on there a few times, probably. So I'm good. I can't use no damn controller that a used PlayStation controller. Hell nah. A used PlayStation controller. You might as well be in the room there with them. No, absolutely not. PlayStation owners, we all know what y'all be doing. Hardcore ones, like, we all know what y'all be doing. I'm good. I ain't never buying no used PlayStation thing. That's disgusting. I don't know where that controller's been. Shout outs to Potter. Shout outs, man. I'm saying you just make sure you clean it very well. If you buy anything used PlayStation, clean it incredibly well. I would say clean it once, clean it again, then clean it one more time after that. I would do 3 cleanings. So yeah. Simeon Coin says, and with all the games and consoles coming out, make sure my bills and rent are covered in 3 weeks ahead of time. That's how I pay for Switch 2 accessories. Hey, there you go, Simeon Coin. Are you gonna play Pokemon? Okay, I already read that. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, clean it again one more time. Yeah, douse it with some holy water too. Douse it with some holy water while you're at it. Yeah, man. Like, bro, it's one of those things, man. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not me, at least. Like I said, I don't care for other people. Feel free, have at it. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So let's see here. I think Juice Man Vaughn accidentally deleted that LOL. Or accidentally. Persona 3 Reload on Switch 2 a couple weeks. Final Fantasy 7 Remake shortly after. Held off on both games. Inedible Switch 2 release. Yeah, I'm hoping that Persona 3 Reload is better than what they showed off in the demo. Some people were like upset with that. And it's not at 60. Well, that's like, eh. But I gotta support Atlas on Switch 2. Like there's no, I got this stupid thing. I gotta support them on Switch 2. So yeah, I'll be picking up Persona 3 Reload. I'll be picking up Final. Those are gonna be like my first game key cards. I think would be Persona 3 Reload and like Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I think that's gonna be like my first game key card. Will be Persona 3 Reload maybe. So we'll see. Wear those disposable gloves. I mean, I don't gotta wear the disposable gloves every time that I play, so that's gonna affect my tactile feel. But I definitely clean it a few times, you know. So yeah. Yeah, there are stats on there that by far PlayStation users are on certain websites at a staggering amount of time. So what are you doing on that website? And you're using the controller. So there's definitely some transfer of residue and transfer of potential fluids and things. Absolutely not. I don't care if you clean. I don't care. Bro, I ain't buying nothing used unless I know that person, and I still clean it. I'll still clean it. Because I'm used to that with in the PS2. I bought my PlayStation used. And listen, man. I had a friend where for some reason on this dude's PS2, bro, we tried to get bro, we were cleaning it and it just, I don't know, man. It just seemed like it wasn't leaving. So this has been a long running thing since the DVD player's existence, since the PS2's existence. This has been a long run. This is a tradition passed down from generation to generation with hardcore plays. It's a normal thing. This is something that's been known. It's like a bloodline, like the Sharingan, you know? It's a bloodline, you know? So oh man. People wonder why Switch has no internet. It's like, yeah, Nintendo will be getting way too many setting backs, buttons all messed up, things all jacked up. So yeah, man. They went ham with the PSVR. Oh my god, bro! I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. That's why I would never buy anything used from. So I'm not buying anything used from PlayStation. I even bought a brand new PS Vita, because I wanted a PS Vita. I was like, I'm like, I need one that's new. You know how expensive they are new? Even when I was buying them, like they weren't as expensive as they are now, but back in like 2019, they were expensive. They were not cheap. Bro, I imported one from because like I didn't want to use one. I imported one from freaking Japan, Ice Blue Vita from Japan. I have it right here. I made a video on it. I imported it because I was like, I ain't buying nothing used. This is a Japanese imported ice blue or aqua blue. Aqua blue PS Vita. I bought it brand new because I'm not buying anything used, you know? So yeah, I had to do that. I was like, I'm good. I'm good on that one. If you guys haven't seen my video, you can check out my video on the PS Vita. But if you have not, the PS Vita, it's a cool system. It's good. It's just too small for my hands. I know people like the size of it, but it's just too small. It's like my hands are uncomfortable playing this. I mean, I can play it. It's not too bad, but as you can see, my thumb it's just too big. My hands are too big. But I mean, for other people, fit pretty good. And it's small. It's light, man. It's super light. It's nice. It's a nice system. It's a very nice system. Back trackpads. It's a good system, man. Looks good. Just small screen. Compared to... I'm so used to Switch 2 at this point. This is just so minuscule. Look at that. Like, so tiny. Such a nice system, though. Such a nice system. Like I said, it's pretty much new, as you can see. It's got dual analog. It's got the buttons. It's cool. It's a good system. Good system. Boom, boom, boom. You can play Chrono Trigger on here too. You can play Chrono Trigger. You can play Xeno. You can download Chrono Trigger. You can download Xenogears if you want it portable, because those are not on Switch or Switch 2. You can play it on PS Vita. You can play a lot of PS1 classics on PS Vita. You can play Xenogears. You can play yeah, you can play Xenogears. You can play all sorts of stuff. It's a pretty good, robust library. I think I need to actually download all those before Sony really just pulls the plug on all that. I should probably download those. I imported the Orange Vita around 2019 as well. Yeah, I was deciding between the Orange Vita or not. So yeah. So yeah, I thought about the Orange Vita. The Orange Vita was nice though. It's really expensive now. Kept my modded new 3DS with Red Viper Virtual Boy emulator and plays VB games in glasses-free stereoscopic 3D. Dumping all my physical games digitally is what got me into digital. Actually, nice. That's cool. Like 3DS is like the most. It's like, yo, if you got a 3DS, you got to do that. You got to do some crazy stuff, you know. So absolutely. Make sure you guys hit that like button though. If you have not hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that like button. I appreciate you guys coming out to the stream today. Today was insane. We had a great day. Like I said, crazy combos late in the second half here, in the last quarter. So I appreciate that, guys. Tomorrow's gonna be JoJo. Let's go over some stuff because like I think I'm gonna. It's already 3 hours and 30, and my wife's probably looking at me like I'm crazy or thinking like, what's going on here? So let's go over some housekeeping real quick and my most recent video. So if you haven't seen my most recent video, go check it out. Some people don't like it though. They think it's clickbait. So sorry about that if you guys thought it was clickbait. But whatever. Check out my most recent video if you haven't seen my most recent video. And tomorrow's gonna be, we're gonna have an earlier stream, so it's gonna be a bit earlier than usual. So it's not gonna be around like 6:30 or 6:45 Eastern. It's gonna be like around maybe 3 o'clock or so Eastern, 3:45, 3:30 Eastern. So look out for that. Early JoJo Friday, so get ready for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we're gonna have the Spawncast pre-show on Saturday, so it should be a good lineup. Yeah, I saw some comments too. I reacted to one. I saw some people saying stuff. I'll do better in the future, I guess. I thought the video was fine. People title their videos like that all the time. So I thought it was pretty big news or huge update, but whatever. Maybe it's not. So you live and you learn, whatever. I just think I got 2 titles for that. I think I do like A/B title testing. Yeah, I got 2 titles for it. So I got, yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 huge news release. Nintendo Switch 2 revealed major news. Yeah, I don't. There was major news. I don't get it. But okay, people obviously think differently. So whatever on that one. All right. So that's that. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream, man. I seriously appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being awesome. Appreciate you guys coming out, man. People saw that the potential UI update. That's what happened, bro. People just take anything, just take whatever, and just put it as the UI. It doesn't matter. But yeah, understandable. Maybe I'll just use, I don't know, games next time like I usually do. So whatever. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I don't even care. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Due to the changes, YouTube may don't mind the titles because that's the only way to beat the algorithm to be noticed. I mean, yeah. If I just title everything like exactly what it is, then the title's too long. If I make the title some other way, then the title's not good enough. People don't care. It doesn't even get to there. Grifter content just dominates. It's like it's impossible in today's day. That's why I say I really appreciate you guys coming through and supporting, like whether it's through, you know, super chat, whether it's through, you know, dropping a tip, whether it's through, you know, Elite Ninjas. Like, it's so annoying, man. Like I'd tear the rest of my hair out if I had to sit there and try to figure out ways to work with this stupid algorithm that's dominated by complete grifters and morons, you know? So I appreciate you guys supporting so we don't have to sit there and everything rides on YouTube views, you know? So I appreciate that, guys. I seriously do, but it makes my head hurt because it's like, what am I supposed to do? I title everything the way it's titled. People don't watch it. I title it this way. It's a problem, even though there is major. It's like, it's frustrating to say the least. Like, that's why I don't really be commenting in the comment section, because people just be saying whatever. And I'm like, if you got a problem, just come talk to me on my live stream, you know, like whatever. So, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you guys for the next one. We'll see you guys for tomorrow's stream. Like I said, it'll be a little bit early, like around maybe 3:30 or 3 something Eastern time. So yeah. Yes, I'm excited for ZA hoodie shorts. I am excited for ZA. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow if you want to ask me more questions and all that. And we'll see you guys for the next one. All right, peace out, guys. Love y'all. Thank you guys for the support. Late too. Appreciate that. Combo breaks. And going further than beyond. Let's go. All right, guys. Love y'all. Bye.